Morning everyone. Hope you can hear me. Audio is working. Video is working. It's weird. I've got a different camera. I'm not using my Mac's camera today, so I can move it around. I got a new camera and it's really zoomed in. Oh, I need to sit back here, then I can't see the chat. Hi everyone. Hang on, my coffee's on the floor. Cheers. What I need actually is one moment, sorry. You'd think I'd find a piece of paper or something lying around. So unorganized. Here we go. So the cafe up the road does awesome coffee, awesome coffee, but sometimes they leak on the bottom, these cups, and so I want to put something underneath. Hi everyone. Hi. So I'm upstairs in my new space. There's a shelf. Oh, okay, this is weird. I'm not used to having the camera. Maybe I'll tell you what I'll do. Hang on. Bring your own mug. Well, I'll eventually have a kitchen. Well, I've got a kitchen. I'll eventually have stuff downstairs. Lots to fill you in on. Let me just, I've got an idea. 1 second. I'm gonna switch cameras back. That was bizarre. Just for now. Or what I might do is, so this is my new camera. It's supposed to be a 4K. It's a cheapie off Amazon, 4K. It cost me 60 bucks. I've yet to get it to work at 4K, and it's not great, but it was 60 bucks. But the reason I got it is it will do 1440p on my Mac. The light is blowing out. I know. That's why another reason why I was switching camera. Anyway, this will do 1440 on this machine. It should do 4K on my other Mac. And I want this to be my logo camera, but I'll get to that in a moment. Need a US? Yeah, this. It is a USB 3 cable going into a Thunderbolt port. But yeah, I don't know. It could be that the adapter I'm using is not USB 3. I think it is though. Anyway, let me see if I can clip it on my Mac. Because what I want to do is be able to, instead of moving my Mac around, I want to be able to, this is going to be too close though, I reckon. We'll try this. I'm going to switch back. Well, that's way too close. But I can look forward now. Okay, I'm not sure that picture's any good anyway. Oh well. But I wanted to be able to, instead of holding the Mac around like I did last week, I want to be able to hold the camera and show you around with the camera. I've got a length of cable, not too long. Anyway, let's say hi to everyone in the chat first. Let's do that. We'll start with that. So, Rat Madness, good morning. Yazzy, Andy Mouse, Tabletronics, hello. Alan, Mazin, hi. Paul, Ray, Yombo Prime, John Meeking, hello. Crazy Roops, Mr. England, Joe Valesco, Tishipu, hello. You have hard pants. I only have hard pants. What? And a safety. Okay, I don't know what the conversation is. I didn't get to read all that, but sounds interesting, maybe. Michael, hello, good morning. Keen, hello Keen. How you feeling, mate? Keen's been sick all week. He says he had some food poisoning, but I think he was just slacking off, but never know. Gerald, hello. Chris, g'day. Phil, hi. Beata, hello. Rota, good morning. Hey ho. AJ is here. Sergeant Bond, hello. Bruce, hi. Johnny Bergdale is in the building. Well, not really. Jerko, hello. Need to sleep before ultra basin. I don't know what that is, but enjoy your sleep. Henrik, hello. James, you're traveling, aren't you? already. I think James is going on a whirlwind tour. James is going to be in Australia. James might already be in Australia. I'm not sure. I'm catching up with James when James comes to Australia. He's popping into Melbourne. To visit. It's going to be awesome. Big C on head. Yeah, I don't like this camera. I'm going to turn this off for the moment. There we go. Mohammed, hello. Paul's Projects. Mike Swan, hello. Andrew Brown. Didier, DIY in the Ghetto. X-Micron, hi. Mad Techie. Ooh, Dutch Maker. Antonio, hello. James should be home making videos. James should be home coding Doom on his computer. That's what James should be doing. None of this rubbish about Doom won't run on a 8-bit micro. Come on. Of course you can make it run. Or maybe not. Sion has a new hairdo. Sion just got a haircut yesterday. It's just short, really short on the sides. And I really didn't spend a lot of time brushing it this morning. So it's just me still growing it long. It's really long. It's getting quite long. When I say long, not long hair. I'm not growing my hair long like James's hair. Like all long. I'm growing the top back. Whatever. I'm reliving my youth. Johnny the Twitch streamer. Feeling better but taking it easy, working from home today. Cool. Okay, I'm glad you're feeling better. No, it's not a mullet. It's no. It's short at the back. I'm not doing a mullet. It's just I got it cut yesterday, so it's really short on the sides right now. And also because my hair's so light, it looks like I have no hair on the sides, but I do. Actually, it's just the lighting. The lighting looks terrible. And I've got lots of greys. Yay! I've been wanting greys for ages. Anyway, samurai hair. I need a ponytail if I'm going to do samurai hair. Wouldn't mind doing a ponytail, but it's too short at the back. Anyway, whatever. Midlife crisis, remember? Midlife crisis. So, I have started moving in. And, so Johnny, did you approve the QR code for mullet? I have no idea what a mullet look is. Mullet is where you got short hair on top and long hair at the back. A lot of Australian rules footballers have mullets. Mullets was a thing back in, what decade was mullets in? Was it the 80s or the 70s? Anyway, it's a terrible look. It really is. It's short sides, long back. What is it? Business at the front, party at the back, is what they say. Oh my God, I'm gonna fall off this chair. This is my old one of my broken chairs. Was it the 80s? Okay, thank you. The mullet. Yeah, no, I'm not doing the mullet. I'm not, but I should have. I had to get up rather early this morning. So now I not only have to get up early to stream, but I have to also get here. So I've added extra onto my, anyway. Yeah. So anyway, I've started moving in. My patrons have seen some pics, some video. I will show you. I'm going to pick up the camera and show you. It's mainly the upstairs, and then I'll fill you in on what's going on. So I'm going to switch back cameras. And so warning, moving camera warning. Okay. So I've got 2 shelves on my wall. This is a really shitty camera. 2 shelves on my wall. I've got another one on the floor I've got to put on. That one will be sitting above those 2. And yeah, anyway, that's for my components. They're floating shelves. As you can see, I've got some little cube cupboard things on the corner over there. And then if I come over to this, oh, I've got a logo on the wall. The what? Swedish shelf? Yes, all IKEA. Now the cable for the logo is actually on and working, but is not connecting to my Wi-Fi at the moment because I haven't set up my Dream Machine Pro yet. And the cable will be concealed behind the wall, but I haven't done that yet. But the logo's on the wall. And then all along here, I have got, this is what I'm sitting against at the moment, I have got all my shelves. So look, there's Inception, Tubey Inception. That's a mess down there still. Still a mess. But what I have here, let me see if I can just pull this cable a bit further without pulling it out of the computer. Here we go. So I'm going back. So this is all my cube shelving for all of my project boxes and storage. You'll see I've got a couple in there down the end there, and they are all gradients. I've got white going to medium grey, going to dark grey to match my color scheme, because that's very important. So most of those I had already in my office at home. A couple of small things I had to buy and build. And 4 times so big. What? 4 times so big? I need a much bigger logo. Yeah, I do. The logo looks tiny. But I also need to leave room somewhere on the wall to be able to do the laser stuff. But anyway, I know that the logo looks miniature. Yeah, a modular version of the logo. I've got an idea of how I can do it bigger in modular pieces. It won't be my exact logo. It'll have to be a slight variation to the shape. Thanks, Tabletronics. Yeah, I'm a big fan of these cube kind of shelving systems, because they fit my project boxes, which you can see in there, the plastic boxes. That's what I use for all my projects. I've got different height versions of those. So if I take a look downstairs, well, you'll see down here, down the end near the door, I've got some boxes. I've got a whole lot of project boxes down there that I've brought in already. And I haven't brought them upstairs yet, and I've still got a whole bunch back in my office at home that I need to bring. Is that logo cable illuminated? No, it's just a blowout of the camera. But as I said, the power for the logo is actually in the ceiling, in that last tile above there. I've got power points in there specifically for the logo, and the Wi-Fi connection point will be up there, and the cable will run through the wall and out the back of the logo, so it'll be completely concealed. I just haven't done it yet. Are you using the same ISP as I have at home? Yes, I am. My Republic, I'm using them at home and here. But right now I'm just using the, I'm going to switch cameras back. Okay, right now I'm just using the the router that came with from the ISP. I have started working on my rack, network cabling. Oh, that's what I'll show you. You're sitting in front of it, so you can't see right now. Let me just go back to here. The wall is black. No, the wall is not black. The wall is grey. The wall is grey. It's a charcoal grey. The actual logo is black, but that wall in real life is much darker than the camera is definitely blowing it out completely. I mean, you can see that box there. That box is completely blown out. So as you can see here, I started terminating yesterday the network cables. I got my crimper finally, and so I did the first one yesterday, just last night or late afternoon before I left. That was fun. So I've still got 4 to do over there, and I've got 4 to do down the end there, and I've got 4 to do over there. So charcoal equals black. No. The new crimper is actually pretty average. No, look, it's good. So I'm using, okay, let me go. Okay, I'm switching cameras back again. So what I've been doing to make my life easy is for my RJ45 connections, I've been using the pass-through ones, which are easier to work with because you don't have to worry about cutting your cable length to exactly the right length or anything else. It does it all for you when you crimp it. And with the so with the Keystone jacks, I'm also using toolless ones. I've got to make sure I don't lose the pieces. So a toolless jack means that I don't have to use one of these. I've got one anyway. I don't have to use one of these insertion tools. Hello, Mark. I'll get back to that question in a moment, Sergeant Bond. Too many, but I'll get you back in a moment. So I don't have to use one of these insertion tools, right? So these keystone jacks come like this, and so what you do is you actually feed the wires through this end, and you place them in the gullies, and then you sit them on, and you close it, and you put them into this crimping tool, right? And that brings it all together and actually does the punch down and puts it all together, and then you've got your shielded jack, which is very different to you doing the non-shielded, you know. So like these are just regular non-shielded jacks, right, where you put them in and you do a punch down on them. They look very different, but there's no point doing shielded cables, shielded patch bay, and not doing shielded keystone jacks. But that's a tool. It's yes, I know, how funny. So it's toolless, but it uses a tool to make it toolless. Yeah. Anyway, so these were a bit fiddly to get going, but I finally got them going. They're pretty cool. True toolless use scissors. No, true toolless is someone else doing them for you. So I'm never ever going to do my own networking again. I hate it. I don't enjoy it. I know some people find it therapeutic, or as Cable Type put it, cathartic, but no, I don't. Didn't know you could get RJ45 connections that didn't need exact lengths of tails. Yeah, they're really cool. They're much more expensive. And you need a special tool to crimp them. And the tools, so that's the tool. There is a more expensive tool than this one, but that's the tool to crimp them. And it crimps them and cuts them at the same time. The problem is, and this is, so there's a massive price gap between, like I bought all this stuff from Amazon. It still cost me quite a lot of money, but way cheaper than buying stuff locally. But there's a huge difference in it. So that's one of the pass-through connectors. And so it's open at the end. And when you put them through, it comes with a little guide clip. You put them through, and then when you crimp it, it crimps it together, pushes the tab in, and cuts the wires all at the same time. The problem with them is that my cable, my shielded cable, is so thick, because I did shielded pairs. I did FTP instead of a shielded cable, so it doesn't. It's got the mesh around the outside, but every pair is shielded itself, and the cable is so thick it doesn't fit into any of these things. To buy the actual connectors that are specifically for the SFTP cable, instead of paying like $50 for 10 of them, right, $5 each, they're like $14 each here. And I did not want to pay $14 each for my network connection points, because it would have been really expensive. So it's a little bit harder for me to work on these, because like these prongs at the end that go around and hold the cable, they don't fit around my cable. The cable is so thick. It's really, yeah, it's a little frustrating. Had I have known that, because like you can't, when you buy shielded connections, you don't buy shielded for different shielded cable types. You either buy a shielded connector or you buy a non-shielded connector, unshielded, whatever. Anyway, I'm almost done. I've just got these terminations to do and I'm done with the network cabling, which is great. I've been testing as I've been going. and it's all been working fine. And I've got a new patch panel that's a completely shielded patch panel as well. Is to program the CNCs in a toolless plastic manufacture. I guess it didn't require tooling in the comment. Yeah, it's I don't know. So Sergeant Bond asked, how many projects am I running in parallel? A staggering amount, because it depends what you call projects in parallel, right? I'm always manufacturing, so every board I manufacture and have to continue manufacturing is a project. And then I've got probably about 10, maybe 15 other projects in various stages. I've got, like, you know, Reflow Master Pro ongoing work is a project. I've got my inspection machine as a project. I've got, you know, any new boards I'm making, like my data logger. I've got a new, I'm doing a new Wi-Fi clock now that I can get RTC chips. I've got my LoRa board I'm slowly working on. I've got lots of things in different stages, like my tiny i2C display boards and whatever. And then I've got client projects that I work on as well. Definitely too many projects to juggle. It's an interesting challenge. And the space that I've been in has, right, my lasers, and I've got plenty of other ideas that I'm just not even looking at right now, not even pursuing. So the problem with my previous space was I couldn't work on multiple things at once. I had no room to have two projects open at the same time, like on a desk anywhere. That was a real challenge. And in here, one of the whole reasons I'm moving is to solve that, as amongst other things, right? I'm trying to find tables at the moment, not workbenches, but just tables on wheels, because up here I want to have two large tables on wheels that will be in the middle of my floor. So my desk is going to be on the back wall. I want project tables in the middle that can always be there, that can always have like permanent projects on them while I'm working on them, but that I can also move the table away rather than having to pack up the project. Trying to source those at the moment, quite difficult to find. I don't really want to have to build my own, but maybe I'll build my own. Use nestable. I don't know what nestable tables mean. You mean a table that fits under a table, like Matryoshka tables? No, I want decent sized tables that I can move around, because I also want to use them. I would like to start making videos again. I don't know of what or how. Definitely project-based videos. And again, a challenge back at home in my home space was that I had no place to stick a camera. I had no, the only thing I could ever do was a camera over my shoulder at a small section of my desk that I either had to clean the whole desk off to not get the mess inside the shot, or just have no space to record. I want to be able to put the camera on any side of a four-sided desk, and me be on any side of it and be able to record videos. Yeah, the problem with sliding tables like that is I can't leave the projects on them. I want to actually have the projects on them and be able to, like, I want a Reflow Master Pro setup and my optical inspection, whatever it's going to turn into, setup. I want them permanently on tables, and I want to be able to move the table away, not have to take the stuff off it to put the table away. Does that make sense? I want to be able to work on it over there, work on it over here. I want to be able to take it to my desk and put it next to my desk while I'm working, if I'm coding or something. I want the flexibility of moving stuff around, exactly the same as downstairs. So all of my workbenches downstairs, my shelving benches, I'm putting on wheels so I can move them around. So like my packing area and all that type of stuff, everything will be on movable. How much vertical space do they need above the surface? Like my Reflow Master Pro setup is a toaster oven, right? In my optical inspection machine right now is about that tall. So yeah, I don't want stacking. I want moving. I've got enough space here that I can move stuff to the side. Baking trays and commercial kitchen. That's for small projects, right? That's fine. I can't. I've looked at those as well. The racks that you can put different trays in, but you know, you get this much. Even if I put them every fourth one, I still can't fit a toaster oven on it, right? And a tray that big is too small for some of my projects. Hey, Dave Paul Jones, how big a tabletop? You can use tool carts, trolleys with wooden top added. No, I don't. I want something that I can sit at. I don't want flat sides. I'm not looking at workbenches. That's what I said. I want tables. I want, like, the same tables can be used if someone comes over, that we can sit at the table and talk. You know, that I, you know, yeah, tables, not benches, not tool chests. So 24 tables for all your projects there. No. 2 tables here. Like a normal, like a table, like, you know, I don't know, 1200 by 600 as a table, right? Or 1200 by something like that. I don't know. I mean, even bigger, 1800 by 600 would be great. 2 of those on wheels. Something like that. And I know I can make my own. Like, I know I can get just tabletops and then build some type of leg system. And maybe I'll do that. I want to build up my tools area downstairs as well. I like rolling tables in the accounting office. I spec in 2 of them. I love it. They put projects on them and move them around. Yeah, moving tables is key. Hey, Photo Chromax. What makes the electric adjustable table? What? Who makes the Curious Mark got? I've got adjustable tables already. The desks I'm bringing, but they're not on wheels. I could possibly put them on wheels, but they're an expensive way to go. Hey, Quindor, how you doing? So I want everything to be movable. All my benches downstairs are going to be movable. Obviously my desks here won't be, but that's okay. They're against the wall. Like, they're permanent, but then everything else inside, I want to be able to move things around. Doing good, busy times. Busy is good. Hey, Keith E. Hey, Maris. I have rolling solder oven. How's yours rolling? Your Iron 6? What? I don't want those. I don't want that equipment rolling. That can be permanent. That's fine. So I've ordered some more production equipment. I've ordered a stencil printer. I've ordered some conveyors. I've ordered a PCB stacker and PCB destacker. Your Neodyne has wheels. Does it? Mine doesn't. That's okay. I still haven't solved or bought a new oven yet, reflow oven. So I'm still on the fence of what to do there, because what I can get isn't exactly what I want, and once I've bought it, I'm kind of stuck. It has to be a chain-based oven, not a mesh-based oven, because I need to be able to, I want to, my plan is to have my whole production line automated from start to finish. Stack of PCB goes in, stack of panels goes in, stack of built panels comes out. Not one at a time coming out that I have to grab. Excuse me. Hey, Peter. Thanks, mate. Yeah, it's coming together slowly. Almost there. Sorry, I'm still got internet going in and out. Ooh, fiber, nice. So, obviously the ceiling's done, air conditioning is in, this one is working, this one downstairs is not yet. Sparky's now coming back on Friday. They think they're going to be able to finish on Friday. I'm not sure they will. Upstairs all the power and everything is done. Downstairs they just have to finish the sub panel, which will then distribute power everywhere. Hang all the power I need from the cable tray. I haven't done anything about exhaust yet. I want to get everything in first and work out where everything's going to go. But the plan is to have some type of junction box that all the exhaust will come into, and then out through one place in the ceiling rather than multiple holes. Bomb says 4 degrees outside. How's the install? It's good. So I turned the heater on when I came in here. Probably didn't need it. I'm sitting here, I've got my sleeves up. I could probably take my top off. It's the installation's working quite well. It gets warm in here quite quickly. Obviously the heat, even from this unit here, goes up and spreads across all the ceilings, right? But yeah, it's nice. Like I could, you know, I've been in t-shirts here the last few days working. It's been cold outside. Well, it's not been freezing outside, but it's not been t-shirt weather outside, and it's been nice in here. With neutral. Everything here is with neutral. Maris? Yep. Hey, Tony Smith. Have a look at IKEA. Bought cupboards, as I also wanted drawers and screws. Yeah, I've looked at theirs. They've got these really bizarre tables that have wheels, but the stem and the wheels, they're really weird looking. I don't know. They do have, they're only 900 in length. 900, or they've got one, I think that's 972. 900? Maybe they had a slightly longer one, I can't remember. Maybe they had a 1200 length one. Anyway, yeah, IKEA is the only place I've found so far that I can buy, you know, obviously I have to put it together, but buy a movable table. Like I wouldn't mind if I can find a table that has some drawers in it or something, but I don't want something that goes all the way to the ground. What's the weather like in Melbourne? Brisbane's been nice relief. Oh yeah, no. Brisbane's nice. Melbourne's cold. Yeah. Quite a few, 10, 15 degrees more in Brizzy at the moment than in Melbourne. Hey Dave, who else have I forgotten to say hi to? Or have I missed? If I've missed anyone saying hi, I apologise. I hear Sparky and I think MASH. Sparky, who was Sparky? Oh yeah, Radar. Who was Sparky in MASH? I can't remember. Hey Mike. Good morning. So yeah, hopefully they'll be finished Friday. So I'm slowly moving in. The plan, I need to get all the small stuff out of my home space to here so I can get to the big stuff to get it out. And oh my God, it's been a challenge. Like Yazzy emptied out her car and then we've been loading her car and my car with stuff, bringing it over. My new oven I bought for drying my boards is here, it's downstairs. The guy Radar called, Radar, did they call him Sparky? Hey Sid. Hey Hansy. Long tables, locators for a lot of scenarios. Found myself 2 issues, having them feel solid to work on and supply them with power. Right, so obviously power, I've got power on that, the feature wall there and over here. Power, obviously, yes, I'm going to have cables that go to the floor to get to it. My plan is to mount on the bottom of the tables those the power sockets, the cube power sockets. I'm not sure if you've seen them. You mount them to something and it's a cube, and you've got like power on you got power on 4 sides, and there's normally USB, like 2 USB power sockets on another side. So the idea is to have one under each end of the table and one cable going to power. Ethernet is different. Again, I've got points on the end there. The stuff that's on the feature wall, which in hindsight I should have moved to the sides. Yeah, whatever, you live and learn. They were all specifically to be able to run power from the wall down to the tables, right? Let me just hang on. Let me see if I can, let me switch cameras again just to show you what I mean. If I can, hang on. Let me, I've got some little legs for my little tripod. Just hold on one moment. I should have done this before I switched. Hey Q. No messing with the timeline, Q. Okay, let me just put this up here and see if I can show you what I mean. Kind of, no, I need to get closer. That's in the way. Okay, so you can see that now. So hopefully you'll still be able to hear me. So the idea is that the tables will be down here, right? So it'll be like one here, further down, behind my desks where I'm working, and I'll only need to run power and networking this way down to them. So I can be on either side of the table, this side or that side of the table. Can you even see me? I don't know. I can't see the screen. I don't know if you can see. Let's try that again. So the idea is I can be on this side of the table working, I can be on the other side of the table working, I can even be on this end of the table working, and I won't be stepping on the cables. If I want to be on this end, well, there might be cables on the floor, but this will allow me to run the desks down this way. I hope that makes sense. That was my plan. Plans don't always work. The table cable layout is clever use of the space. Thanks. Look, it's all in my head. Like, it may work, it may not work. It might be usable, it might be chaotic. Am I going to do some breakdancing? No. In my youth, I did. Now I'll literally just break things. Hey, Alan. Good morning. Excuse me. Yeah, so yeah, I'm making it up as I'm going in terms of how I'd like the space to work. Having everything modular and mobile means I can change my mind, which is good. The Q plugs might be a better idea. Power strips upside down. Yeah, I've had power strips upside down, but sometimes they fall off, sometimes cables fall off, they get yanked. I like that we use the cube power things on our dining room table at home to power stuff, and so all the cables that are on the table go under and connect to that, and there's just one cable coming out. They're pretty good. I thought of having drop down power and data from the ceiling. Well, I've got that on that side, but I didn't want to do that in here. I didn't want to have things permanently hanging down in here. I'm trying to keep things neat and aesthetically pleasing. Like, down there is production, so that's, what is it? Business down there, party up here. No, that's not right. There's not a lot I can do down there in terms of making it look fancy. Fancy is the wrong word. I don't need my production area, my packing area, my manufacturing area to be blingy. It's not a show-off thing, right? I need it to be functional. Functional first down there, but up here I had the opportunity to make a nice space that I really would enjoy being in and working in, right? You know, some of it's just simple things like paint color, but the layout and how I want everything to be, you know, I put all my effort in this space here to make it as, I don't know what the word is, I'm going to say the best it could be, but that's not, like, yeah. I hope I get across what I'm trying to get across. I need a, what's a Jaeger fountain? Mullet office? What's a mullet office? What? Upstairs needs a mirror wall. No, doesn't need a mirror wall. Good concept, but it usually pisses me off. What? Oh, about what though? Oh, the power cubes. Really? Why does it annoy you? I mean, other than when it's under the table, you can't see it unless you climb under the table. So sometimes getting a power point in is annoying. Aesthetically pleasing. Yeah, I just want it to be a nice workspace. Like, I want it to be. Like, I spend a lot of time in the workspace, so I want to enjoy being in it. You know, as far as having to work goes. Messy space, messy mind. There's logic in having nice, neat spaces. Look, it always goes messy. There's no way I'm keeping this clean, or there's no way I'm keeping it tidy. Like, that's okay, but there's at in my home office right now, it's untidy and everything is piled on top of itself. Here, it'll be untidy, but everything has its own place, if that makes sense. Like the mullet haircut, right. This is the front. Yeah, we were talking about the mullet stuff before you came on, Q. That's why I said it, right. Yeah, we were talking about the mullets at the start. People thought I had a mullet, but it's not a mullet. Definitely would never have a mullet. You wind up with wires sticking out each direction if you use 2 sockets. Right, but that's okay because you don't put it at the end of the table where the wires hang out the side. Anyway, we'll see how we go. There's all different versions of them you can get now. So I'm hoping that so my stencil printer, I bought a second-hand GKG G5 from a company in China. There was a DEC Horizon 3 that I could have got from here in Melbourne. What are you getting? The new production? Right. So I bought a whole bunch of stuff from a second-hand dealer in China, though the only thing I'm buying second-hand is the stencil printer. I've got 2 conveyors coming. The reason I bought conveyors from them is they've got 600mm length conveyors. The shortest I've got right now is 800. I know that sounds like only a little bit, but I'm limited on my line space. So by going for the 600s, I have actually allowed myself room to get a stacker in after my oven, or get a longer oven as well, right? So that was kind of key. So the reason I went for this particular stencil printer and not the DEC or another Chinese style stencil printer, I could have bought, if I was going to go second hand, I could have bought an NPM or there are other brands. Is that they all use very large. Their minimum stencil size is much bigger than the stencils I use right now. And like the DEC Horizon, for instance, is fixed to 1 stencil size, which is this big frame, square frame, and you can get adapters for them to put other stencils in. It's really messy. This particular stencil printer I got will take any size stencil down to the size below the ones I use and will work with all of my existing stencils. And so I didn't have to replace any stencils, and I don't have to buy large stencils going forward. And a large stencil, it's 2 sizes up from the current ones I use. Firstly, they won't fit in my manual stencil printer. I'm not always going to necessarily use the stencil printer, the fully auto one, on a job. I might just need to stencil up 1 board, right, for whatever reason. So there's that. The larger stencils aren't much more expensive. They're like 2.5 times the price, but the shipping is triple the price because of the size of the stencil. So I didn't want to push myself down. If I was going to buy a second-hand stencil printer anyway, I didn't want to push myself down having to suddenly pay 3 times the price for my stencils and have to replace all of the 20-something stencils I've already got. I think I've discussed this before. So I found this stencil printer. These printers are, they've been on production lines. They're really good, solid working machines. It's a fairly good price. Definitely, it was a good price, and it's all been ordered. Hopefully in the next 45 days or 60 days. Shipping is a real hassle at the moment. Trying to get on a boat and then getting all the way through for delivery. But I ordered all the stuff DDP, which means delivered to my door, taxes paid. I paid a penalty for doing that by not organising that myself, but it's completely not my problem now. It has to get delivered to me. It's on them all the way through. So if there are delays, if there are whatever, I don't have to pay anything extra. I just have to wait for the stuff to arrive. So I just didn't want the hassle of having to organise my own shipping and containers and whatever else. Now with the loaders and unloaders I got, there are two types that you can get. There's cartridge based or magazine based, is where you get this like a plastic magazine, like a cube that you put all your panels in, and then you load that magazine into the loader, and you can get ones that do a single magazine at a time, or you can get ones that can do up to 3. So you've got one being loaded, and you can get 2 that you can get ready, and it'll swap them out. And the unloader works the same way, where it loads them back into a magazine, and you can either have a single unit, right? So you have to clear the magazine and manually put a new one in, or it can have spares and it can rotate them. The problem with either of those options is that they're massive. They're as big in terms of length on my line as my pick and place machine, each one of them. Like they're like 1.2 to 1.4 meters long. And I don't have space for them. I don't even have space for a loader, let alone an unloader. And so there's no point buying this equipment and not being automated. So the other type, and this is what I went for, are pneumatic ones, where they're considerably smaller, like they're this wide. And what it does instead is it uses pneumatics. You put a whole bunch of PCBs in a stack, and it just pushes them up and loads them in one at a time. And then on the other end, it grabs them, and so this is called destacking. It's like a pile of cards, and it off the top, and at the other end it restacks them. So it brings them in and pushes them up, and brings them in and it keeps pushing them up, and until it's full. And you can get between 50 and 100 panels at the start, and between 50 and 100 at the end, depending on how high the components are. And the key to these things is they're only like 400 millimeters, like 40 centimeters long, so I can fit both in. So I've ordered those anyway, although I can't use the restacker until I get a new oven, because it needs a conveyor oven, like the chains, to be able to work. It won't work off a mesh oven. Yes, they have rails. So the destacker and stacker work off rails. So, and what's interesting is nothing, like when you're looking at this level of automation, right, which piecemeal automation, none of the widths are automated, right? So if I'm going to take a panel of tiny S3s and run them, I have to go to the destacker, set the width. I have to go to my conveyor, set the width. I have to go to the stencil printer, set the width. I have to go to my conveyor, set the width. Go to pick and place machine. Well, that'll set the width based on the project. Go to the conveyor on the way out, set the width. Go to the oven, set the width. Go to the destack or the restacker, set the width, right? And then if I want to go and do feather S3s, because all of my panels are different sizes, right? It's never been an issue for me before. I've never had to standardize on a panel width. Going forward, I'm going to start standardizing more on panel widths. It's wasteful to do that, because for instance, I have to look at my widest panel, and then I have to make my other panels that wide, either by adding more boards to it or just adding extra FR4 to pad it out. But it eliminates the whole, whoops, I forgot to set this particular item, and the board comes out and falls on the floor. Now, I've done that before. I do that, when I say a lot, I've probably only done it 5 times, but I did it recently, like a couple of weeks ago. I totally forgot to set my conveyor between the pick and place and the oven, and I remembered just as the board was coming out, and I ran in and I was too late, and I had a panel of tiny S3s that went off the pick and place machine and went, ooh, bang on the floor, and all the parts came off. And yeah, it's really demoralizing when that happens. So there's no automation at all of any of those. No, you don't get any automation like that at this level. What you get is the manual setting. If you want fully automated, where you go to your pick and place machine and you say, this is the project I'm going to run, and it goes and tells the whole line to adjust itself, yeah, you're looking at a $500,000 to $1 million setup to do that. You need, you buy a SciPlace line where the whole line is by the same company, and the whole line is designed to work together, right? Yeah, I'm fully over to KiCad. The couple of times I've recently opened up Eagle just to have a look at something, just to confirm that it was correct, I couldn't even remember how to move the board around in Eagle. It was really bizarre. Where's my compressor going? My compressor's going inside. The second-hand compressor that I'm getting, I still haven't bought it. You still got it. I haven't got it shipped over. I need to get it shipped over. The three-phase point's been put in. It's going on the inside. It's a oh my god. Not a screw compressor, it's a... I've set a total mental blank. Anyway, I'll think of it in a moment. It's pretty quiet. I'm going to have a receiver in here as well. A scroll compressor. Thanks, Chris. It's a scroll compressor. It's quiet. Well, I don't know how quiet. I've not heard it running, but it's as quiet as you're going to get a compressor. And it's going to be inside down next to the toilet, next to where the windows are, underneath where the sub box is. And then my air is going to be coming up and along the line and down. And I haven't organized any of the cabling for that yet. I need to get really thick cabling and junctions and stuff. I don't even want to know what it's going to cost. Like, doing good air cabling is expensive. That was the setup with the, right, so that's got a dry integrated already with the 50-litre tank inside it. I'm going to have to then go receiver and then filter and then in the line. Yeah, unfortunately, but just the way it is. New compressors in Australia, like getting something that I really want, that I don't have to do any of that, like a single unit, they're just so expensive. Well, maybe they are around the world as well, I don't know. But like, entry price is like $14,000, $15,000 for a, for something that, either screw or scroll with, 100+ litre capacity, dryer, everything integrated, where you literally just have a cable coming out of it to use it. Yeah, $14,000 entry price. Catch you later, James. Enjoy your trip. See you next week. Unfortunately, we couldn't coordinate for James to come on a stream. That would have been awesome. Hey, Jay. Didn't totally miss. Tony, use poly pipe for air. You can easily add and move anytime. I don't know what poly pipe is, but I want to use the semi-flex, the non-PVC, whatever the blue, well, not, yeah, the semi-flex tubing, whatever it's called. I don't know what the material is. Used aluminium pipe. I suggest at least 2 receivers so you can purge them while maintaining working pressure to the line. Yeah, I don't have room for 2 receivers. But anyway, polyethylene cross-linked. It could be that, but that's what it looks like. Blue, and yeah, it looks like it's got a cross. I know, whatever it is. Okay, polyethylene, 32mm on the backbone, then nylon for the last bit. Yeah, I didn't want to do PVC though. Hello, Jason. Maybe PVC coming down for the last bit, but I don't know. Maybe not. I'm only running it maximum 7 bar, 6.5 bar. And yeah, it's not high pressure. I just need a consistent flow. Yeah, PVC is brittle. Yeah, I know. Problem is I've only got an 8mm connection to at least the pick and place machine. So I'm gonna, it's gonna be a, yeah. Yeah, I know it can be, but sure, but it's still low comparatively, less bar than a coffee machine. Oh, I'm not going to plug this into my coffee machine. So I'm hoping, yeah, as I said, I have to find a removalist still who can move my pick and place machine and stuff, and laser. It's delicate stuff to move. It's there are companies here that specialize in moving delicate industrial equipment, so we have to just reach out, but I can't do that until I've emptied everything else out, and then it's just going to be about 1,000 car trips back and forwards getting stuff over, like getting my feeders over, for instance. Like I can't just load them all in boxes and stuff. Like I'm gonna have to be really careful getting my feeders over I don't want to pull all the components off the feeders. That'll be a nightmare. Plus I'll lose a whole bunch of components on the taking them off and putting them back on again, and I also just don't want to stack them in boxes because the feeders are delicate. Do you check on legalities as far as certification installation for pressure vessels? So if I buy like a receiver, when it gets delivered, they deliver it and then they sign off on it being delivered. The onus is not on me to certify, the onus is on the vessel manufacturer to certify that their vessel, their receiver is certified, right? But the paperwork has to be signed off that what I have installed is a certified receiver. That's done by the people delivering it, from my understanding, having spoken to a few people here who recently bought receivers. We're very picky. Ooh, coffee and pastries, yum. Picky about what? What did I miss? Plain chocolate biscuits. My coffee's cold. Shame. So I'm thinking of not painting the other side of the floor because I can't be bothered downstairs. Maybe one day. I need to buy, I still haven't got a fridge, microwave, all that kitchen stuff. I'll do that once the Sparkies are finished downstairs because they're still making a mess. Unfortunately, I can't get my desks into Yaz's car. They're about 40 centimeters too long, and so they won't fit. So the desks are going to have to come with a removalist as well. And so until, well, it means I can't work from here until I've at least got a desk here. Okay, we're still discussing types of air hose, I think. That's okay. I don't know what, like this. I'm looking forward to getting back to actually getting some work done. I gotta tell you, it's I've been doing bits and pieces at home. Like it's an absolute disaster. Hang on, I think I took a photo. Did I take a photo? I think I took a photo of the state of my office at the moment at home. I can if I can find it. Did I? I thought I did. Maybe I didn't. Oh, that's annoying. I wanted to show you what my office looks like at home. No, it looks like I did not take a photo. How could that be? That's really annoying. Okay, well, it's really like, it looks like seriously it's been ransacked. It looks full on. Come on. No, I can't find it. I don't know what happened. I'm sure I had one. Wow. I don't even know how to use technology, my own phone. Sorry. Hey Emery, how you doing? Hey Jack McMack. I've been wondering how the painter's tape is going to come off for you. Did it? Yeah, it's all off. It was fine. I only had one little issue you can't see, just on the top. You probably can't even see it. Just here, there was a little issue, and it wasn't because of the painter's tape. It was because the tape was on there still when I was doing the network cabling up there, and when I put the tile back down, I didn't realize that I got a bit of the tape under the tile, so it wrapped over rather than sitting free. So when I pulled all of it off, everything was coming off beautifully, and then because it was caught under the tile and I didn't realize, when I yanked it and it pulled it really hard, it flipped out from the tile and took a little bit of paint off. But it's like 2 millimeters. Like it's really small. Otherwise it's fine. I do have a tiny little bit of blue just here. You can't see it. I can see it. You can't see. Just down here right at the skirting level, I whacked the ladder into it the other day. And anyway, on the grey section. But otherwise, the painter's tape came off really well, except after I did it, people are telling me, no, you got to pull it off when it's wet. I never knew that. I always thought it had to dry. Or are you talking about the painter's tape downstairs? The painter's tape downstairs is still on there because I never painted. I'm probably going to have to rip it all off and redo it. Oh, right. So we're talking about someone mentioned about the plugs being sideways. So that's not me. That's the faceplate. There's only one orientation you can put them on a faceplate. So maybe I bought these faceplates, rip it off before the paint sets. Yeah, I never knew that. I know that now. So these are the plates that I'm using, and the jacks can only go in one direction, which is sideways. Like, I thought the same thing. So, I mean, they're pretty big jacks. Maybe it doesn't fit on a normal height thing. So this is specific for the shielded ones, right? They're really big, as I showed before. Maybe for the non-shielded ones, the unshielded ones, you can get a different plate, but I don't know. Minor cable jacks, standard, clipsaw plates. Yeah, I wasn't going to do them vertical, sorry. That would have looked ridiculous doing it vertically. What's wrong with them being sideways? Like, it's going to be under the desk anyway, but I don't have a problem with them being sideways. Hey Bob, the wall boxes are installed weirdly. I can't say it's incorrectly since there's probably no standard. Just all sorts of wrong. What's wrong? The wall boxes. Are you saying mine are installed incorrectly? I don't understand. Is that what you're saying? The wall boxes. You mean the network points? You're saying they're supposed to be vertical? Why? What? Vertical is standard here. Most people manage to install the power outlets upside down. I'm pretty sure my power outlets are the right way around. And, okay, I didn't realize that there was any law that said they had to be vertical or horizontal. I'm quite happy having them horizontal and sideways. Otherwise, the bits come out sideways and your YouTube comes out. Okay. No, I'm like... There's a network connector, yeah, okay. It makes no difference to me if the network connector is like that or like that, it takes the same amount of space and it doesn't come out, and I don't see what the problem is. The results are identical, and I'm quite happy having them horizontal. I prefer them horizontal. It's done vertically is to attach the boxes to studs that are vertical in the wall. Right, except there's no box, it's just a plate. So, and that is attached to the stud using a bracket that is attached that way. I mean, I could have done them that way, but I don't have a noggin there. I would have had to put specific noggins in at the right height to attach them a different way. Anyway, I'm totally happy with this. totally happy with this. And let me put this back here, otherwise I'll forget where it is. Like yeah. And metal bracket comes both horizontal and vertical. The ones I used were horizontal brackets, not vertical brackets. So my internet will be sideways, that's okay. My Wi-Fi is always the correct direction though, yeah? The idea of the contacts of the socket at the top to stop dust collecting on the contacts, so it will be fine on the side. Other front panel plates allow the jack to be the other way. Yeah, as I said, maybe I would have found a different plate that allowed them to be the other way. I don't know. I actually went back when I saw that they were sideways the other day. I looked back online where I bought them from, and there was no alternate version of the plate that allows the jacks the other way. So I always put boxes in for my data cables. Anyway, we'll start seeing nothing but YouTube shorts. Yeah, I think I'll be doing YouTube shorts. It depends on whether the computers are towers or horizontal. Okay, so I can only plug sideways computers on them. That's cool. I can live with that, no problem. Didn't know about dust collection on the sockets. That's okay. You learn something new every day. So I'm happy with the lighting. I've only got some of the lights turned on right now. If I turn the other ones on, I'll show you. It blows up big time. Whoa, there we go. Like, it's super bright in here. Like, the amount of light I got coming in is crazy. Welcome to my new shop. Thanks, Jay. Hey, Kieran. You can get landscape mode ones. I'm in Melbourne. I have a couple. Possibly. They weren't, like, they only had one type on the store when I bought them. And it didn't specify, and I hadn't considered, like, when I got them, I figured you could put them in either direction. I just assumed that, you know, like when you get a light switch one or whatever. Turns out you can't. This is the first time I've used shielded keystone jacks. So I don't know if it's the same with unshielded, but oh well, that's okay. Shop does not have any toys to play with yet, so he shows us how to plug in to 5 and we argue about preference. Yeah, need to get the toys in so we can argue about those. I like to use those plastic wing boxes. I don't know what they are. If you're talking about the mounted plate, so the plate goes on the block and the block goes on the wall, so you've got distance, if that's what you're talking about, I don't want them up here. I don't want them sitting so far out. I would love if my power points were more flush to the wall. I don't want anything sticking out from the wall. Block goes in the wall. Oh, really? Okay. But why do you need a box in the wall? What's it for? Is it just to protect the jacks? I don't know. Anyway, I've got 4 out of 4 working points right now, so the plasterer hasn't drilled into any cables yet. All the power works, so he hasn't drilled into those. So hopefully all the points will be fine. It's to prevent the wires from falling down inside the wall. Okay, strain relief from wires. Okay, do not need strain relief on my network cable. It is unbendable. It is honestly so difficult to work with. I'm going to turn this light back off. So it's only 7:42. I'm going to turn all the lights off. 7:42. I just turned all the lights off, and in here, and this is just with the natural light coming in. Still a little bit dark. Like I couldn't work in here like this. Well, I couldn't do any fine detail work in here like this. I could definitely sit in here using my computer. It's bright enough, as you can see. The amount of natural light coming in is quite amazing still, really happy. I don't have any lights on next door, on the non-mezzanine side or underneath. This is just all natural light coming in now. You can even see from up top, like on my head, my shiny head. I need to start putting sandpaper on my head to remove the shine. So I'm pretty happy with the natural light. Sure, the video goes a bit grainy, but I'm just saying it's in terms of the lighting. Sorry, I'll put the lights back on. Whoa. Not that one. Okay, this is what it was before when I started. It's also useful for air sealing when you're in a tight envelope. Okay. Oh, Yazzy. Okay, so I was just showing you how much light there was. That's all. Oh, tough crowd. Tough crowd. Yeah, I don't have any Alexa here yet, but I bought a HomePod Mini for audio, and it's amazing. I was quite shocked at the audio quality out of it. I've never heard an iPod Mini playing before, and it's pretty cool. So I'm gonna have a few of those in here, either one or two up here, like two up here, just so I can get stereo audio surround, and then one downstairs, and that way I can pump music to anywhere while I'm working or whatever, which would be cool. My Unify access point and my IP camera haven't arrived yet. I think they're doing a national tour, checking out the sites before they arrive. But so I still have to get that connected. I haven't even powered on my my switch yet, but yeah, that's almost ready. I want to get the cabling done first. Skylights were installed very well by a cool person. Are you referring to you, Michael? Michael helped me with some skylight, getting some. Were you here when I was doing a skylight? I can't remember. Haven't gone far with the shop, but is there any compromise on layout design that did not work out yet? No, the only thing is I don't know yet how long my line's going to be. So I have yet to build any of the walls downstairs near the door for the dirty area, because I don't want to give myself too little room on the dirty area, but I don't want to give myself too much room that I suddenly half a meter short on my line. So I really need all of my equipment here first, other than a new pick and place machine, which I haven't ordered yet, and I'm probably not going to. I'm probably going to wait on getting a new pick and place machine for the time being. I still have to, I have to get a new oven. I just have to bite the bullet and buy one. So I want all of that in to know exactly how much space I've got left, and then I'm going to do the rest of the build downstairs. To block off the dirty area and also maybe block off the front entranceway. So when you walk in the front door, it's not fully open where you see everything downstairs. I might just put a bit of a wall. Right now the front office is being used for storage. Right now all my tools and everything are in there because I don't have anything to bring them downstairs yet. But catch you later, Max. Have a good sleep. But once I've got all the rest of this stuff downstairs, I'll move all my tools down. And yeah, I'll I don't know what it's going to get used for. It's a weird space. Like, it actually gets quite warm in there because of the way it's built. It's really low ceiling. It's like almost a meter lower than my current ceiling. It's like it feels like a little cramped spot in there. And the whole front wall is glass, is window. You know, even with the blinds in there, like, it's super bright. And I don't know what I'll use it for. I'll work it out one day, but for now it's just going to be storage. Yeah, no, I don't want to set it up as an EMI room. The problem with setting it up as an EMI room is then all my equipment that I need for that is in there, and then it's not out here when I want to use it. And I don't want to have to then... Anyway, there's not... Yeah. I think you're potentially overthinking how much EMI testing I need to be doing, because on my dev boards there's other than the RF stuff, there's pretty much nothing. Like, I don't have to do connected emissions and really connected immunity and stuff like that on my boards. It really depends on which boards I'm looking at going through certification with. Hey Rob. I could put hammocks in the front room. I want to get beanbags in here, but Yaz thinks beanbags is a bad idea. She goes, anyone that comes over to visit is going to be old and is not going to want to sit in a beanbag and won't be able to get back out of a beanbag. I'm thinking, really? Anyway, I think she was trying to be funny, but it sounded more insulting than funny. Yeah. You can only end in success with vertical wall outlets. No, horizontal outlets, that's the way it's staying. I love them. Love sacks are just big bean bags. Okay. So one thing I haven't done downstairs anywhere yet is stuck a big ground pole into the earth somewhere. I've spoken about it with the electrician. It's something we could look at doing down the line, to have like a separate ground. Listen to Yaz, beanbags need to be reconsidered. No, Yaz was saying beanbags were a bad idea. I think they're a good idea. I am going to have my couch in here though. Right, I'm going to wait. That was what he suggested. Let's just wait, get everything in, see if it's even necessary. But I did speak to him about grounding the metal handrails on my staircases, so that way every time I come up and down the staircase, assuming I grab the rail, which I need to because I'll fall down the stairs because I'm always in a hurry, I'll be discharging any static on me. So I'm going to do that. But right now, yeah, putting a separate ground in is going to be difficult because I've got no easy way to get out through the concrete walls. Yeah, he suggests that the grounding here is probably good enough. Like, he checked the mezzanine, the steel underneath me, which seems to be grounded. So it might just be fine. Melbourne's a big place that has lots of climates. Even my suburb has lots of climates. Oh, hello, cable tie. The carpet's a problem. You might want to get some... The carpet's a problem even for me at home. I'm less worried about static up here, although static anywhere is a problem. But yeah, look, we'll see how it goes. I'm not going to run out and try to do ESD prevention up here yet until I really need to, until I've worked out exactly what I need to do. Yeah, I've got the antiseptic spray for carpet. It doesn't work very well. It doesn't last very long. But yeah, Iggy put someone in touch with me, that the company that specialise in doing ESD stuff, and so I'll once I'm actually in properly, I can have a chat with him and see what we can do. It might just be a matter of putting in some grounded mats underneath my desks where my feet go, or something. I don't know. Sprinkle iron filings everywhere. Yeah, I'd rather not do that. We make mains plugs with an earth wire only. They purchase ESD control on equipment. Yeah, I've got that. That's what I'm using for my ESD mats on my benches. It's a plug that's just an earth wire. Yeah, I'm not saying my Sparky knows a lot about. I mean, he knew enough to straight away go when I said to him, "Hey, Yaz, those shelves look incredible. Yaz, help me put the shelves up." Thanks, Yazzy. We were just talking about bean bags, Yazzy. People don't agree with you about not being able to get in and out of the bean bags because they're old. I threw you under the bus there. Sorry. Yeah, when I mentioned him about putting in a separate ground, he straight away said, "What, you want to stick a post in the ground and you want to run separate in? You want to do that for static?" Like he knew exactly what I was referring to. Doesn't mean he's got any expertise in it. He's done it before with some other customers, some big customers of his. That's not what you said. What did you say? You said it's not going to be comfortable for people to get in and out of because they're old. I'm pretty sure that's what you said. But 2 giant bean bags in the shape of a U and an M. I want to get some U and M plushies, you know, like throw pillows, maybe. Bruce is too. You are not too old, Bruce. You go skiing. People are old. Oh, some people are old. Some people are not old. Alan's 54 and not too old. Would you still sit in a beanbag, Alan? Would you be comfortable getting in and out of a beanbag? You call them Sparkies. What? You call them beanbag Sparkies? Oh, you're talking about electricians, right? Yes, Uncle Cable Tie will need a chair. Really? Come on, Peter. You could get in a beanbag, couldn't you? Yes, I have to get some more chairs. Andy Mouse is 56 and loves beanbags. Woohoo! If you have a wire to the roof, what, to pull yourself out of the beanbag? Those like the ones that drop down on hospital beds, yeah? Every beanbag comes with its own pull wire. We can all get in them. Right, we can all get in them, it's getting out of them. That's what I said. Anyway. What are we talking? What's Jay and Chris talking about? Or something? I don't know. What about the time it bursts and you have a million white balls all over? Yeah, well, there's that. Okay, that's true. Bean bags are for children, Kieran says. Well, call me a child. I'm quite happy to be a child for the rest of my life. And bean bags, if you can't get out of them, you roll out of them. Anyway, hey Aaron. Right, that's the thing. You can roll off the beanbag down the slide or the fireman's pole. Yaz wants me to get a trapeze. Yeah, because that I won't kill myself on that at all. Right. Hey, Mr. Bonds. Ground the hanging pull out of the beanbag cables. 2 birds, 1 stone. That's a good idea. ESD discharge whenever you get out of the beanbag. Noxy. I have a trapeze already. You talking about my cable tray? That's not strong enough. I can't. No, that won't work. There's a question, just ignored answer. Most, all, more than I've generated income reinvested in the company. Expenses can quickly run away from the income with all things you need. Yeah, so right now, well, it's actually interesting. My income actually has almost died. Like, I just delivered a whole bunch of stuff to resellers, whatever. My sales are like negligible at the moment, which is interesting. I have to go and look back historically at what my, like, this time of the year was for me last year and the year before, but like my sales have gone, like, almost hit the floor, which makes me feel quite ill at the moment with what I'm spending, but that'll turn around. That's fine. Yeah, look, my outlay on this is a lot. It's more than my income, for sure. But I had to make a decision to either stay. Well, I had three choices, right? I needed to stop manufacturing, or I needed to keep suffering in the space I was in, which was becoming really, really unbearable, or I had to move to get more space and to get more opportunity. Like, you know, as many of you know, I put off this move for a really long time. Like, I fought it and fought it. It's been like almost a year since I've started looking at this whole thing. Yeah, I do need a wireless mic. That's it. I've actually got one somewhere, but it's not very good. I need to get a new one. I want to get one of those Bluetooth ones that work much better. So yeah, it's kind of bizarre. This move is just to be able to support what I've currently been doing, and I don't know what's going to happen in the future. Like, no one knows what's going to happen in the future, right? But I needed to give myself the opportunity to grow, or to just make my work life better. Like, it's just been really frustrating, and I needed space to be able to bring on help if I needed to. I couldn't do that at home. As I've said in the past, I needed space to be able to bring on some redundancy. So if one of my machines goes down, I'm not dead in the water, right? Like, yeah, like, oh, that's why I was trying to find that photo before to show you. Like, I'm not quite sure you can understand how much stuff I squeezed into the small space I had, and how just painful and difficult it was to get anything done in that space. Like, and like, it really was. It was like a mini nightmare. So I really don't see that I've got a choice but to move. Now, I've never liked the idea of having to spend this type of money getting a space usable. Like that's one of the reasons I delayed signing a lease for quite a while, was I didn't want to have to invest the type of money I've invested in electrical work, the ceiling, air conditioning. Like, I'm not talking about painting the walls and whatever. I'm talking about just to make a place fit for use. But I was going to get that no matter where I moved into, right? Even if I found a place that didn't need a new ceiling, it would have needed something else instead. You know what I mean? So it's just, I'm just investing in my business. Like, I hate that it's happening all at once. It's a really big chunk of money all at once. But there's no other, you can't piecemeal it. Like, I couldn't have just moved in and then chipped away at doing the changes here. Like, that just wouldn't have happened, right? It would have been an unbearable space to work in without the ceiling done, right? It would have been an unbearable space to work in without air conditioning and heating, and that would have been pointless without the cieling. You know what I mean? It was all just a knock-on thing. Buying this equipment, so the stencil printer, the conveyors, and the loaders and unloaders I just bought, right, it was about $35,000 delivered, right? oh my God, that is a huge chunk of money from my production line that I don't need. No, let me rephrase that. That I haven't needed up until now. Like I've got by without a stencil printer and without a loader and unloader this whole time, right? I could continue without those things. But every time I'm in the thick of doing production, like a large order, and I'm doing it all manually, catch you later, Dave, and like I'm stenciling manually and I'm loading into the pick and place machine one at a time, and I'm grabbing the board out the other end one at a time, you know what I mean? And I'm doing that process and I'm thinking to myself, this is just ridiculous. Like this is such a waste of my time, or paying someone else to do that would be such a waste of their time when this is a solution, when this is a problem that's already been solved, right? So, do I need that extra equipment right now? No, but I can't grow my business without it. Like if I'm stuck doing all that manual work all the time to get my boards out, then I'm not doing anything else. It's just unfortunate that it's all happening at the same time. Like to do that, I need a new space. To get a new space, I need to spend money on all of this. Like it's just it's a snowballing thing, right? What adults? Yeah. Needs a large screen. I've got a TV to come in here, but it's never going to turn on. I'm not going to bring any consoles in here. No, this is work for works. No, I'm just kidding. What are we talking about? Wait, what? It's for the beer fund. Thanks, Bob. Thanks very much. Might be vodka though instead. I'm not really a beer drinker, but definitely the vodka. Hang on, I want to know what. Why can't I scroll? It's not letting me scroll. What's the conversation that Yazzy's having? Oh, right, yeah, so my office area is being turned in, at home is being turned into a playroom for the kids. And for Yaz, I guess, I don't know. Oh, I can't do tequila anymore. I got myself so sick on tequila once that if I just smell tequila now, no, can't do it. I've got a projector that's just sitting on the shelf. I don't have a screen for it. No. This is, I'm not trying to build a play area. Like it's hard enough to get work done as it is without the distractions of having game consoles and other stuff. Hands zero, appreciate the answer. Can feel the pain and the choice. The need for expansion. Small cramped workspace. Yeah, look, yeah, it's been rough, but I dealt with it. Like I did it, and I have done. But it's kind of, I'm at a point now where the frustration was too high. So I've got frustration not making the decision and frustration making the decision. Just make the decision. Thanks, Johnny, for the Jaeger fountain. Oh my God. I've also made myself sick on Jaeger bombs before. Oh, but thanks very much, Johnny. Large CB will be nice for those maker casts. If I ever get back on a maker cast. Is that what you're talking about, or you mean for watching them? I've got some TVs at home in my shed that maybe one will go in the old office for the kids, and I'll bring one here. Yeah, probably, maybe. It was keep scrolling. It was about the timing of this. Okay, I'm going back. This was the best option as it was a skeleton. You do what you wanted to make it work. That's true, yes. And it was a nice, clean, sealed skeleton, right? A new place. I didn't have to worry about how do I stop the dust and dirt coming in, right? Like, which is what was my biggest concern with getting a cheaper place. So okay, I'm going all the way back now. I must have missed a bunch of stuff. If you can do this during a period of no orders and silicon shortage, then surely it's up from here. Again, very true, Yaz. Like, it's great that I don't have any pressing orders right now because I'd be not here renovating. I'd be back still doing the same slog that I've been doing. But it's also frustrating just not having So I'm just rereading again. Wow, we're still on the vertical network points. What's going on? It says capital expenditures are cost of growing a business. They are, unfortunately. Capital expenditures on someone else's property sucks though. But yes. Okay, I think I got all that. A new clean skeleton sounds like a weird drunk eBay purchase. Oh, that's really funny. Oh, hey Pro Engineer. I have to make a note to go to bed before 2 AM on Wednesdays so I can catch the start of the streams. No, you can just have no sleep. That's fine. Everyone here has the exact same tequila story. Possibly. But I can't. And the same with Zambuca. Zambuca Black. Oh, used to love Zambuca. Can't do it now. Yeah. I'm not a big alcohol drinker anyway. Like in my youth, wasn't that much either, but do an eBay blog and buy the warehouse when it really comes up for sale. I don't think I'll ever have the funds to do that. Like, you got to consider that the selling microcontroller boards 1 or 2 or 4 at a time, it's not a very lucrative business. Like, you know, it's not like I'm saving up the big bucks to actually buy a property. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe, we'll see. You know what? If I end up being a good tenant and I'm here for a while, there's no reason the landlord would ever sell, right? Why would they want to sell? And because this is it's a whole complex, what are they called? Not a park, whatever, of the same warehouses. Although the next door he owns next door, but he bought it when it was being constructed. Like, I don't know if the company that owns them all, the developer, would be interested in selling them at this point. I don't know. But we'll see. Yeah, it's like I have with alcohol is that I don't want to get anything technical done, just party, do very little. Yeah, like I had fun when I was younger. Now, I don't know. I find I get drunk really quickly now, or not at all. I either go from one drink and I'm not drunk, one drink and I'm not able to function, or a couple of drinks and I miss not being able to function and I just go straight to being sick. So it's just no fun anymore, you know. Yeah. I could have bought a property if C was killed during the construction. That's true, Yaz, yes. If you want to look at it that way, if you want to run my business, sure. Once you have a fully automated line, you can run larger production and probably cut your pricing to increase sales. No, the production run is not the expensive part of the manufacturing. And dropping my prices a little bit won't make a difference. And dropping my prices means I have to drop my wholesale prices. And my wholesale prices are already as low as I want to get them. Like they're if you consider it's the same amount of work for me to make a board that goes to a reseller or to go to an end customer, and I make way less money off the reseller one for exactly the same amount of work, right? So yeah, what I want to like diversify instead, or diversify. Like I want to, not that I necessarily want to make just lots more product, but I want the opportunity to look for other things that I can build and make and design, and you know, like right now all my eggs are in the microcontroller board space, which pretty fickle, right? Unfortunately, the testing, cleaning, and packing part is the part that costs the most and doesn't scale. Simple as that, right? The only way to scale is to put more hands on it, and that costs money. So Yeah. If you look at how long a board takes to go through the stenciling to built before separation, it's insignificant in the time compared to how long it takes to inspect it, test it, clean it, and pack it. Ooh, thanks Q for the rye. Oh, I can't do whiskey. I can't do whiskey. I've tried. I really have tried. I can't do it. Oh, there's something, I can do white, like clear alcohol. I can't do yellowy alcohol. Like I can't do whiskey. I can't do scotch. I can't, I don't understand how people can drink it. It's just like you drink it and it just burns and it just tastes foul. Sorry. Sample and test. If you had time and other costs to design, what type of things would you want to design? That's a really good question. Like, I don't know. Well, so I've had a design of a rework hot plate in my head for about 1.5 years now. Like, I would like to make a, it would have to be in a kit form. I need to get some metal bending equipment. I would like, I don't know. With stuff like my Reflow Master Pro, which is it's not like it's not a do anything you want with development board, right? It's a for use purpose product. I mean, more stuff like that maybe, although I mean they're really time consuming to make, and the rest of the stuff that goes around it. I don't know, like, yeah. I feel like at the moment I've kind of pigeonholed myself. Not really, I mean, it makes it like it's a problem, it's bad. Like I love the stuff that I've designed and I make right now, and I love the projects people do with them. But I don't want to just be someone who makes microcontroller boards, you know, the next microcontroller board, the next one. I don't know. I want to be able to explore other things, but I don't know what those things are yet. Because you need to try the good stuff. No, I've tried. Well, I don't know. Depends what you call the good stuff. Anyway, don't run a Makerspace. Not worth it. I always thought about originally, like having whatever space I moved into would be a section of it would be open Makerspace stuff. But yeah, no, I don't want to do that. Yeah. All those sockets to plug into. What? Who? What? What? Yeah, I'm less in the Makerspace thing now, but I'd love to run, I'd love to have a little cafe and run classes. That would be really cool, but I don't have time. It sounds like one of those things where I bury myself in a hole. You know, I commit to doing something like that and then regret it afterwards because the amount of time and effort it takes, because it takes a lot of time and effort. But that would be really cool, but also, you know, I don't know how big a place like that, like having people have to come to you to do classes as opposed to, you know, places like Ladybird Electronics and some other companies in Australia that they go to places where people come together, like community centres and whatever. Yeah, I know why they're talking about it, the Makerspace stuff. I know, Yaz. I'm so glad you don't know what you want to do. Really? Sarcasm, just dripping, even in text, Yaz. Hole in the wall coffee shop. Oh, hole in the wall coffee shop. Service and neighbouring warehouses. No, I don't want a coffee shop for other people. I don't want a coffee shop either, a cafe. Anyway, whatever. So originally, when I had an animation company, way back, I always wanted to move it into a cafe. I wanted to run a cafe where the back of the cafe was the animation studio and the front of the cafe was a cafe. And because I used to have a lot of clients that would come in, and so I could have client meetings in the cafe and also have coffee whenever I want, or my staff could have coffee, whatever, and working out the back. Anyway, that was always I always wanted to do a business in a cafe, and I have no idea if it was ever going to work or not, and I never did it. So there you go. How big does the new sign need to be so it doesn't look tiny? Yeah, it needs to be massive. Like, it needs to be probably double the size, so double the pixels. That'd be massive, honestly. No, it'd be 4 times the pixels. No, doubles. I don't know. It's probably not going to happen. Yeah, the smell of the cafe is awesome. There's a coffee roasters. There's 2 coffee roasters nearby. I'm pointing in the wrong direction, that way. 2 coffee roasters. But I can't smell it from here. A cafe is one of those things where the idea seems great, but the reality sucks. Yeah, running a cafe would suck. From a staffing point of view, and from a... Yeah, and it's... Yeah, that I personally didn't want to run the cafe. I would have employed someone to run the cafe. Yeah, look, it was an idea that never came into fruition because it was probably a bad idea, but it's kind of stuck. But it's never going to happen. That's okay. Will you be streaming once done? You can pop by. I don't know if I'll still be streaming though. How long I've been going? A little while longer, maybe. Maybe I'll still be going if you get here. Maybe not. I don't know. Shall we start a new, not tiny new sign with a 4 times size fund? No, please don't do that. Don't waste your money on that. We don't need to do that. Right now, just that logo. Look, one day I'll redesign maybe a bigger one. I don't know. But this is still a pretty cool logo. It looks great when the animations are running on it. So. Out of all of your resellers, who supports you the best? They all do. Honestly, I've got just a really good bunch of resellers. Like Adafruit are great to work with, Pomeroni are great to work with, and my 2 Amazon, well, they're father and son. One does the UK, used to be EU, but no more, and then the other one does the US, and they're all great. They're all fantastic to work with. Very happy with that, and I've got other people who want to come on board. Who contact me about coming on board, but I haven't had the capacity to do that, right? Like I was barely able to make enough boards for the, like when Adafruit does an order, like everything stops, like, and I'm just, for a very long period of time working on their order. Sometimes they're smaller, sometimes they're bigger. I couldn't take on any more resellers before. But I also don't want to dilute, like, having 1 reseller in the UK is great. Like having 2 doesn't really do anything. Like it's just, like Pomeroni, like they're a great reseller, and if someone else came on board, then Pomeroni are going to suffer in terms of sales, if that makes sense. So I don't need to have multiple in different places. I think I still need to solve the EU. Once I get set up in here again, I need to get back onto the next certifiable versions of my S3 boards, and I need to get my Nano sorted. There's a lot of stuff I need to get done that I've had no room, had no space for, had no energy, motivation, or time for. I'm really hoping that once I'm in this space here, I'll have the opportunity I'll have the headspace to be able to tackle a lot more simultaneously because I've got the space for it, if that makes sense. Like, right now, like if I want to, turn on my spectrum analyzer, my VNA, and do some work on my S3 boards, my new boards, I basically have to work in the dark, turn all my lights off because they're LED lights, turn all my computers off because I've got computers right next to, I've got Wi-Fi interference, I've got, like, you know what I mean? Like, I've got no dedicated area that's isolated enough. Like, I don't need a huge amount of isolation for my just basic testing to start with, but like right now, like I've got things that are this close to my spectrum analyzer, I've got no space. So giving myself dedicated power for those tools, dedicated network for those tools, and then no other or very, very little EMI around them to be able to work will make life easier for me. Anyway, I have some high hopes once I'm in here of being able to, what's the word? Be more productive. No, that's not the right thing. I'm really good at context switching and multitasking. But if I have no space to do it, then it doesn't matter, right? Like I'm really good at being able to do this and then jump and do this. But right now I don't have space to do those two things because it's all piled on top of each other in front of me. Bye Yaz, good luck, drop off. Turn that little office into a Faraday cage. We'll see what. No, it's not about a Faraday cage. Like I can't work inside a cage. It's not about that. It's just about having a better setup. It's about only having this much desk space right now for where my spectrum analyzer is to work in front of. Like it's a space limitation thing right now. Like if I want to work on that stuff, I need to clear my bench off so I can do it. A cage might really help at some point in the future. Better tidy up. Yaz is coming by. No, it's pretty tidy in here considering. She's comfortable with my mess. It's fine. She helps me make the mess. That's okay. I need to get that other shelf up. Get it off the floor. Get it up on the wall. Yeah. Aluminium and or steel screen is cheap enough. A consultant used to hire a retired cancer treatment room from MC testing. Right, but you got to remember, I'm really only using that gear for matching and for checking results of specifically secondary harmonics with the S3 chips. I'm not doing EMI testing or EMC testing. That's not what I'm doing. So it's yeah. I already put my S3 board, my tiny S3 through pre-cert. I don't have a problem with anything other than the secondary harmonics, right? And the matching, which one was exacerbating the other or whatever. But I passed all the other tests, no problems. They're not the things I need to be testing for. Not on my development boards, right? Other things in the future, if I'm looking at needing to certify them, that's a different story, right? But for my development boards, I don't have, any step up, step down. I don't have any, there's nothing on them that are things that have issues passing certification. It's really RF related. And that's about having a consistent space to be able to match, test, well, that's it, match and test with, right? Even for checking the secondary harmonics, I would do that with a direct connection to the antenna point, right? I wouldn't be doing it via radio frequency stuff. Like I'd be doing it wired. So, right, you're right, Chris, except I don't have noisy power supplies that are my problem. You know what I mean? Like, they're not the things I'm trying to check for, because my boards don't have those, like, does that make sense? I don't have power issues with my boards. My neighbors, right, but noise on my mains, I'm not, as I said, my board's already passed pre-cert on connected emissions and stuff. Like it's just the RF side, and it's about matching and getting the best matching I can get and suppressing the secondary harmonics, which is an issue with the S3 chips. The S3 chips unfortunately generate pretty nasty secondary harmonics and need filtering at the other end of the RF matching network, and that's what I need to do to be able to get my boards to pass certification. Right, and I test, well, but you got to remember, when I'm doing that work, my boards aren't plugged in. They are when I'm doing on the spectrum analyzer, and they can run off battery, no problem. And the thing I'm trying to look for to fix is not being generated by bad power. It's very clear secondary harmonic spikes. Or at least power conditioning, and right, so all my test gear is on completely isolated circuit now, and even the networking connections for them is separate, and the space I'm dedicating for where they're going to sit is, I've got like a 1.5 meter isolation around it, and I could quite easily get a metal cage that could sit over it if I wanted to. Well, I think a dedicated circuit is a good start. And the actual wiring for that circuit is also 1/2 meter away from all the rest of the wiring. I don't need to go overkill. There's something to solve later if I need to, not something I need for now. And again, like, I didn't even have issues with my power configuration at home for this type of stuff. Like, I wasn't seeing any interference because they're not the things I'm testing for. In the future, as I said, if I have different types of products that need, where I have issues where I need to be testing compliance for power or other things than non-RF related, then that's a different story. But for now, I don't have any plans on that. And the way I get around a lot of that is, if there's something I sell and it's a kit, then certification doesn't become so much of a problem. Related to layout, bias, track length, and sometimes oh my god, wasn't quick enough. Thanks, I tried doing it. I don't have my mouse here. Thanks for whoever took care of that. Mike, thank you. No, the secondary harmonics is specifically to the S3 chip. It's an RF issue in the chip. It had nothing to do with the power supply. This is a known undocumented problem from Espressive. The chip specifically has secondary harmonics issues that needs filtering to pass certification. Nothing to do with power. Nothing to do with board layout, nothing to do with tracks, length, or anything. Espressive's modules have filtering on them to suppress harmonics, secondary harmonics. This is a feature of the S3 chip. And one of the reasons why they've moved away from their extensor chips, the S3 is the last chip. Well, that's interesting. I can see my chat window has stopped updating. Wow. I might need to refresh it. Hope this works. Nope, my chat window. I have no chat window. I can't see chat. Wait, I'm gonna recreate it. Pop out. There we go. New chat window. So Yazzy's on her way. I don't know what time she's going to be here. We'll see if anyone is still around when she gets here. I'll try to keep the stream going. Okay, so what did I miss? There's only so much you can do to fix dirty power. I worked in an industrialist building with horrible, unstable power. We bleed over from neighbours. Well, yeah. The internal S3 layout causes the issue. Anything else you know about that? Yes, the internal S3 layout causes the issue. The chip itself generates nasty secondary harmonics, and it's required as part of their technical reference manual, design, hardware design guide, and everything else that you must stick filtering at the end of your RF matching network to suppress the secondary harmonics to pass certification. Yes, how's that? This was documented after I went into pre-cert, not before. Hey Tony. So I found out the day before my pre-cert, and it was too late to cancel by then. I had to pay for it anyway. Not at all, Chris. Well, I'll get to that in a second. I found out the day before, and I could cancel my pre-cert, but I had to pay for the time anyway. So I knew I was going to fail RF before pre-cert even started. It was very frustrating. I had a very big discussion with Espressive about it. So yeah, whatever they've done internally in the chip, I know that they made a last-minute change on their silicon before they went into production, where they switched over the crystal positive and negative pins for the 40 megahertz crystal. They did that at the last minute before they went into production, maybe to help with suppressing something. Maybe it's part of their crystal. Yeah, I don't know. They haven't specified exactly what inside their silicon is the problem, but it's definitely. And this is the only chip of theirs that they make that has this problem. That's the thing. Chris, you say totally typical for RF outputs? Maybe, but this is the first time ever that an Espressive chip has had secondary harmonics issues. The S2 does absolutely not have the, and does not require any filtering. None of their original ESP32s did. None of their RISC-V stuff does, but their S3 chip is, and we're talking about massive spikes. We're talking at the 7 gigahertz range, the spike is big, and at the 9 point whatever, it is bigger again, like it's a compounding whatever it is. It's a great site. They require your YouTube credentials to log in. What are we talking about? They are called radiated spurious emissions. There's nothing about power. It's emitting RF cap on frequencies that it shouldn't. It's not spurious emissions, it's actual secondary harmonics. Like, it's specific to all the secondary harmonics. My report didn't show, but you could clearly see at 4.8 it started, but I didn't fail at 4.8, but then 7.2 was fail, 9.6 big fail, like, you know what I mean? It just was propagating out. Yeah, but in this case, Jay, it's not the 40 megahertz crystal that's causing this, right? This is a problem. It's their chip, because all of their boards, all of their modules, everything they make has exactly the same issue, right? Like, they have not been able to solve it in any other way than suppressing it with a low pass filter at the end. Anyway, it's frustrating. Between that and the fact that they have no guidance on what I'm supposed to be matching the RF pin to. 9.6 is a third harmonics, but it could be a secondary harmonic from the 7.2. Whatever it is, it needs to be suppressed, which is why I bought the 7.5 gigahertz VNA SA, so I can confirm that I've suppressed the 7.2. And if I compress the 7.2, then the assumption is, without having a machine here to test with, that the 9.6 has been suppressed. Yeah, but if you don't keep your traces as short as possible, you can harmonize with your... I understand that, sure. But this particular problem is in the silicon. It's unfortunately, or it's yeah. And that's why they cancelled the S4, or one of the reasons they've cancelled the S4, and they're only sticking with their RISC stuff now. Is they've obviously come to the limit of what they can do in silicon with the extensor cores, with, I don't know, heat and issues and whatever else, you know what I mean? They're at the limit of what they can do. So the S3 chip is going to be the last of the extensor stuff, and they're just focusing on their RISC 5 now, RISC V, whatever. Or possibly, Chris, but I don't have the money to buy a 10 gigahertz spectrum analyzer to confirm. So my focus is on the 7.2, and then I can, you know, if I've nailed that, I can then send a board out somewhere that they can test it at the 9.6 range. But with my SA, I'll be able to look at the 4.8 and the 7.2, and that should give me a pretty good guidance to what's happening. And especially if it's been very clear that it's the second harmonic that's the issue. So I need to see how much of my matching was the problem, and then how much of, and then filtering for the rest of it. I know that my matching wasn't the cause of the problem, because Espressiv's chips need filtering. Espressiv's modules have filtering to suppress it, and you know, I would assume that their matching was better than mine, but we'll see. Another issue with the chip is the sensitive brownout detector. When initializing the radio, kills use of the low amp small. That's a bad board design, Tony. That would be a bad... Have you seen that on my boards? We say a low amp small batteries. How low? Like, you need 550 milliamps minimum to initialize the radio. That's always been the case. So you shouldn't be using tiny low amp batteries ever. It's not a sensitive brownout. That's just a requirement of an ESP32 to initialize the radios. For it to run its calibration on boot, it needs 500 to 550 milliamps clean. So yeah, but if you're getting brownouts, that can be fixed on the board design with just more capacitance. So are you seeing that on my boards, or just other boards? RISC V's got a long way to go, Jay, or at least from the, yeah, no, it's got a long way to go. I don't know. As an instruction set, it might be nice, but in terms of the hardware coming out right now, the capabilities of the chips coming out, it's pretty low spec compared to what you can get from other vendors, like in terms of multiple cores and you know, PIO type stuff and finite state machines and whatever else. I mean, Espressive's RISC-V offering, although they're very new to RISC-V, I keep saying 5V, whatever, like they're, you know, feature-wise on their hardware, like there's a massive gap between what they've got on RISC-V and what they've got on their higher-end S3 stuff, or S2, or even their original SP32. So, check retractable workbench locking casters. Hello, Shrike. I hope I got that right. The one I saw, kickstand style. You can lock the table into not resting on the wheels at all with a levered step, freewheeling. Okay, cool. Oh, using a CR32 and then a CR12. Yeah, no, okay. That's way out of spec, dude. You need 550 milliamps. Stomp casters. Down the track, if you moved away from expensive chips, what other ones would you consider? When you say down the track, meaning when chips are available? I don't know. I'm not saying I'm necessarily going to move away from expensive chips for the time being. They've got some interesting things coming. They're still at the forefront compared to anyone else right now, but their stability and reliability have been a little bit recently. I don't know. The C5 is an interesting chip. Like, I want to do something with the C5, but that's next year. I don't know. There's no one playing in the space that is specific. Oh, sorry. There's lots of people playing. No one's even close yet. That could change. I don't know. It's not going to change in a hurry right now because of the silicon shortage, or because the fab time, like a fab time. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. I mean, chips are getting closer and closer. Like, you look at all the high-end ARM stuff, it's just getting closer to computer stuff. Like, everything's moving away from what used to be all microcontroller based stuff, and it's becoming, you know, like, you can get microcontrollers now that can run Linux. Like, you know, sure, it's slow and you can't do a lot with them, but it's crazy how fast things seem to be changing now compared to how long it took to move things out of the microcontroller space in the past. Will they, Jay? How far away is soon? I would like a 64-bit microcontroller. But why, the secret engineer, hello by the way, when you can just get a, you know, get an A7 chip, or, you know, get one of the high-end ARM chips. Just get a sock and use that. Like, right, but Tony, what's the power rating on the 123A compared to the CR32? Like, again, you need to be able to... My boards won't brown out unless you're just not feeding them enough power. Like, you need 550 milliamps burst, clean. So that's not specific to my board. And you can't really compare just an ESP Now sensor that has no LDO or anything else on it. I mean, well, you can, but they're a, single purpose thing as opposed to just a generic development boards. Bit banging chess programming called bit boards. Bit banging chess programming called bit boards. Interesting. This RP2040 is more of a CPU sock than a microcontroller. No, it's not. What makes you think that? The RP2040 is just it's just an ARM microcontroller. It's no more of a CPU sock than any other microcontroller on the market. Well, what makes you think it's not? I mean, the PAO peripheral allows you to do some interesting things, but a CPU sock is totally different. Or a sock is totally different. A CPU and a sock are not the same. Actually, a CPU and a sock are totally different things. Like a CPU, in general, has no capability other than as a processing unit, and it needs all the extra hardware around it to do everything else. A SoC, a system on a chip, is everything integrated into a chip. So all the things that would be on a motherboard around an Intel CPU is inside the chip, not outside the chip. But, you know, SoC, the term SoC is thrown around a lot. No, but there's more inside a system on a chip than just bus controllers and such. Anyway, it's, yeah. Right, SoCs have video, SoCs have lots of other peripherals. They have, you can get SoCs now that have not Thunderbolt, but built-in USB, not USB as in a native USB drive, but bridge, hub bridge. I mean, anyway, generally, you need a memory. You need a dynamic memory controller. Like you need an MMU? For a chip to move away from a microcontroller and be able to run an operating system, it needs an MMU built in. MMU, is that the right term? I think that's the right term. I can't remember. Yeah, MMU. Right. So without an MMU, you can't really do anything beyond proper single task stuff on a chip. Yeah. Oh, is that Yazzy? Oh, Yazzy's here, everyone. No, I'm still streaming. Oh, Yazzy's having trouble walking up the stairs.
I'd sit, but there's no beanbag.
You sit, but there's no beanbag. Here, have a chair.
Thanks. Nice.
Wave. Hi.
Hi.
Oh, bubble gum in the mouth.
Sorry. I'm not that wild.
Okay. You just
Hello.
sit back. I'll just make this bigger for you, okay?
Yeah.
There you go.
Good morning. I didn't bring coffee actually. I should have brought coffee.
Should have brought coffee. Mine's cold. Call me.
You've at least got one.
Actually, it's also empty.
Anyway. Hi everyone. How's it going? How have you been enjoying the stream? How good are the shelves?
Do you want to give me a chewy?
No. No. No, thank you.
Okay.
I'll stop.
Yeah.
Thanks, Yazzy. Looking well. Yep. Bit of bronzer. I'm not the boss. I'm not the boss. Anyway, yep. So everyone's good? Thank you. Was level. Wasn't level. We did that about 5 times, that one. The other one.
Twice.
Felt like 5. But I pretended I was on Survivor doing a challenge. Like I had to hold the wall and like hold it. And I was doing like a challenge. Like how long I could do it for. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really heavy when you were holding up.
Did you write down where the studs were? Don't need to because you can get a stud finder. So, 2 techniques, the knock or the vipper. Got both. Yeah, cable tie, it's been ages. Come visit. Well, I won't be here. We'll make a time. Weather. is cold. It's yuck. What are we now? August.
Yeah. Just coming out of winter.
You know what? I was driving in a street the other day and I saw a tree with blossoms, like just the little buds, and I was like, my favourite time of year. You just know, like, the worst of winter's over and the good weather's about to come. Although spring's not amazing, but it's better than freezing. A radar scanner. You don't keep drilling holes until you find a stud, especially when it's a beautifully painted wall. Can't do that. Oh yeah, you get the progress pictures. I'm not on Discord, so I don't know what you post.
It's not my fault.
How do I do that?
We'll talk about that later.
Okay.
Thanks, guys. I didn't want Yaz poking around on Discord, seeing all the secret stuff I say about her.
I don't really care. I don't. Yeah, Tony, you think that a cold winter will bring a good spring, but I don't know. Other than that, yep. We're rocking on. It's good space, this, I have to say. If anyone can come down, please do.
Ring first.
Yeah. You need to put the doorbell up. Yeah. I'm not telling him what to do. It was a suggestion, and I know it sounded like a demand, and it wasn't. Just have to be clear about that. Yeah, Mike, you can come down for a visit. Oh yeah, the magpies. Forgot about that.
I'll put a Mike. I'll put a bed in the front room for you.
Oh yeah. Oh. Guess.
I offered that so he could come and help me renovate, but he didn't want to. Apparently, he doesn't like renovating.
No one does. It's not fun.
He just renovated his house.
Okay, so he does need more than one chair, but that's not my problem. I've got the chair now. I've got the conch. Unexpected Airbnb. Yes.
We're here.
Yes.
No.
No.
Other people in my space.
Yaz looks like she had a good idea. When?
Okay, well, while you're doing that,
Can I just say?
I'm going to do the network cables.
Whatever. Can I just say, Cable Tie, it's funny, because I know your real name, but the whole thing with the...
You can call him Peter.
Just stop. With the
what?
You're distracting me. The whole thing with the magpies is you put cable ties on your helmet to stop the swooping. Is that why you're called? No, it's not why you're called cable tie, because
Cableting.
it's not a magpie thing. Tell Sion to hurry up and terminate those jacks. I did when I read that out loud.
Thanks.
The chemistry.
One.
Fuck off. Oh, sorry. I think I've just changed the rating.
The what?
I saw.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Change the rating.
Well, I don't know if it picked it up. Anyway, has anyone got any questions for me? Let's do an AMA. I love an AMA. Sorry, I know. I'm sorry about the under 12 crowd. I apologize. You know what? They should be in school anyway. Oh, how funny. They don't care after 2 hours. Well, all I can say is he threw a cable at me.
It was the sleeve.
I'm going to say cable because I don't know what a sleeve is.
It was the cable sleeve.
Oh, Stranger Things. Yeah, I'm not into that, sorry. AMA, guys, let's do it. What's this?
They don't have to, guys.
No, and you don't have to. You don't have to. I feel like that was put that down. There's lots of little tools and stuff here, so just leave where the arm goes. Good one. And now, yeah. Oh my God, really? Ooh, oh, they're coming in thick and fast now. How do I feel that Sion will finally leave the house for work? Great question, Fire Developer. It's a massive adjustment, actually. It's huge. Like, I know that I've taken for granted the whole, if I'm not home, he'll be home, so I can just have it delivered whenever or have something dropped off. So that takes a bit more organising from my perspective. And I know that's not what you meant, but I'll get there. It's an adjustment in terms of picking up, taking, coordinating and stuff. But really he needs his own space. And, truth bomb, so do I. And I don't have my own space, and even with him out, I still won't have my own space. That's another issue.
I won't be around to wait.
No, but you'll just text and call like 4 times a day, and
Ooh. You heard that, folks? I don't have to call or text ever.
I didn't say that. I just don't need to know, minutiae. What are my plans?
You just wanted to say minutiae.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did. You love that word.
It is a good word. The plans for the workshop. Okay, so in terms of, so the workshop's got 2 kind of areas. There's the office area, and then there's the workshop-y area. Garage. So the garage, I don't want to do anything. I want to just leave it empty.
Yay.
In a few years' time, maybe sooner, I wouldn't mind putting like in a table tennis table.
No one plays table tennis in the family.
And that was what I was waiting for. No one plays table tennis in the family because we don't have a table tennis table. In actual fact, our daughter does table tennis for sport at school. That's a fact. And another thing is, it's another thing for kids to do when they come over. And the room is secure so that they can bash the ball in the wall and I don't care. It's kind of a safe place. So that's what I was thinking for there. And yes, oh my gosh, Bruce, yes, I want to put some cameras in there, 100%. I actually want to put cameras in a lot of areas of the house, but that's beside the point. How do I scroll up when it does when it goes Ghibli?
I don't know what Ghibli means, but...
Oh no, I worked it out. It's the mouse. But in terms of the office, I was thinking of putting like at one end where C works at the moment, where the desks are, I wanted to put like a TV on the wall or on a unit of sorts, I don't know, and put some couches on the other side, or bean bags on the other side, the window side, so the kids can have a place where they can do gaming and, let's be honest, it will be one kid, do gaming and movies and whatnot. Again, play dates, go out, watch something. Yep. And then the other half of the office, I actually wanted to put some desks. So some floating desks. No. No. I'm not putting that in. So I'm just going to get desks with legs.
Desks with wings.
No.
Sorry.
I'm not. And put some desks so the kids have like a study area. So as they get older, they can actually do some schoolwork or whatever, or
not.
Or just have somewhere where, the gaming computer can be out there. So anyway, that was my idea, like to kind of halve it and to have some sort of room, kind of a half room divider in the middle to separate the 2 areas, because I'm pretending I'm now on the block. Similar, like maybe put a see-through bookcase in the middle, like the square ones, the IKEA ones, to kind of just separate the two areas, but then then we have another bookshelf and storage. So that was my idea. Don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I can tell you what the first thing I'll do is vacuum. I cannot wait to vacuum and dust that whole place. Can't wait. I know that sounds sad, but whatever. What are my favourite Star Trek series? I don't know what that is. What's been the biggest learning experience throughout this whole endeavour for you? For me, okay, I'm sure you've asked him, so I'll answer for me. The biggest learning experience. Oh, that's such a loaded question. I got a really amazing insight into how Sion's brain works during this whole process.
Uh-oh.
And it started...
How it works or how it doesn't work.
I'm going to ignore the background noise. And it started the summer holidays when he started talking about, I need more space, and then we kind of went, well, you need to lace something, you need to move out. So it's August, and I think that was January. I'm not saying that was a long process. My point is that it's been this consideration and pros and cons this whole time. But then in terms of, no, it's not in how his brain works, but the complexities of what he does, I suppose. In terms of, it's not just a matter of moving everything in here. It's, well, if I've got more space, do I get I don't know the names of it. Can you just go with me? Do I get a stacking machine that can put the things in the thing? And should I get this and should I get that? And I'm like, okay, well then get it. And it's like, yeah, but I can only, it's not for this machine. I'm just saying this conversation. I can only get them secondhand, don't really want to get them secondhand. And then if I do get this machine, I need to get new feeders and new this and new that. And then I have to, if I get that, then all my stencils are wrong. And then I need to change all the stencils. And then if I do that, then I need to change the size of my boards. They're the things that I've been privy to, because it's not something that we've ever talked about in the past. I just get the whole, I'm doing this and I'm doing that, but it's actually very complex. It's very guesswork. It's potluck, and it's I would not cope in this type of decision-making situation. And I listen and I try to offer advice. It's not very good when I do. And also sometimes he's just talking to me, he's just telling me things, not asking for advice, but I'm that person that tries to fix things. I know, usually a guy thing. No, also a me thing. And so it's been exhausting. And I don't mean that in a bad way.
Yeah,
that's all right. Yeah, it's been exhausting, to be honest. And then we've had other things going on at the moment as well. So got some bags under my eyes. Okay, what's my favourite snack food? I've had to go non-dairy, so like 80%.
Potato chips.
No, 80% of my emotional eating was ice cream and chocolate, and I've had to just, I don't have a favourite snack. I actually dread thinking about what to eat because it's a chore, and yeah. Sorry, that wasn't, it would have been chocolate though, and ice cream. You need a camera installed so you can watch. Yes. It's, yep, the colours look actually really cool. How's he going to get food at his new place? Well, because
From the supermarket.
Because he's an adult, he's able to access food and pay for it himself. He'll either be taking leftovers if I cook, or no, that's loaded. He'll be taking leftovers if I cook and the food is okay, because I've been terrible lately. Really bad, hit and miss. Or he'll just go up the road and get lunch. How do I get lunch every day? Interesting. Yeah, there's a lot of delivery. You can DoorDash it. While you were sleeping, he installed a tracker with mic somewhere. Oh, in the house. Okay, good. I don't care. Do you know what? I'll just say the words snoring and microphone and leave it at that. So if he has installed a microphone, go to town. People are getting rid of yeah, I think a table tennis table is a good idea. Media room, kind of cubby house. No, not a cubby house per se, because I was also thinking how to make the place accessible to both kids. Having like the TV and the gaming stuff at one end is great, maybe for one kid, but the other child would prefer a tent or somewhere quiet. So I was trying to think of, in terms of a sensory space, what I could do, and I don't know, but I think that if I put one kid out that can make noise in another area, then the quiet space doesn't need to happen in there. Anyway, the kids will want friends over and they'll need a separate space. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, like even summer holidays, I was thinking, yeah, I want them to have their own space. I think 2 years of lockdown and being on top of one another has definitely made that a real issue. It's not made it an issue, it's made it something to consider, not having. Okay, Mike. So with telling him that he's doing it wrong, so it's funny, so when he lines things up and he goes, is that straight? And I go, yep, that's straight, and he's about to like put something in, and you're like, he's already like, just as he marks the wall, I go, like, but what do you mean straight? Just at that moment, and it's joyous. I won't say what we got to. Oh yeah, no, we won't talk about us as teenagers. Jeez. But you know what? See, and I've always been okay with whatever the kids do. And if they're going to do something silly or questionable, I'm happy for it to be at the house and not in a back alley. And when I say happy, I don't mean that I approve of it and I'm and then I'm going to open up a place where it's accessible for everyone. I just mean for safety. We've always just said that we're realistic. We know that kids will be kids. We know that they're going to experiment, they're going to do things, and we'd rather them do it at home and know that they can be safe. And if there's any issues, that there are adults there. I'm not condoning, not saying that they will, not an invitation. I'm just saying. It's like your smartphones were invented, yeah, otherwise lots of income. Yeah, 100%. Should someone about now, yeah, he's doing it all wrong. Garage party with beer pong. No. 100% not. Yeah, I mean, look, locally here, kids go parks and whatever. Ours just, I think the younger one's a bit too young. He's not. There are kids his age that are like going in groups to places, but I just, trust is an issue. And impulsivity is an issue. So not yet, no. You do not want to. Okay. He's gone downstairs now. I got upstairs all to myself. Do you want me to move over so you can see more what he's doing? Here you go. You can Looks, he's actually doing something. It's getting the old ambidexter out. Flux capacitor. Giving Sion advice. It's an interesting slippery slope.
Why are you whispering?
It's not a whisper.
Wow.
Maybe a little. Okay, so where the warehouse is between the house and the kids' school. Yes, so it is at the moment. It's near the primary school, and I'm still doing drop-offs and pickups. So, yeah, it is. I can be here and leave here at, 10 past 3, quarter past 3, and still get to 3:30 pickup. It's super, super close, which is really cool. And it's also it's good that it's close to home. We like that. Buy those tiny pickos. See, our Sion has got to eat. He's fine. Yeah, getting one will be easy. Oh, air hockey. Yes, or foosball. No, and I know that this is going to sound horrible, and I do apologise, but things like that can become weapons. So the foosball can be like ripped off. I'm not interested. It'll break. Go turn all of his outlets vertical. I would, but I don't know what an outlet is. Hey, say. He might have electrocuted himself. I could check. Billiards table. Again, I thought billiards table, but sticks, cues, okay, I know they're called cues, turn into lightsaber. Ah, we got spammed. Thank you, Chris, for sorting that out. Billiards table, no. Oh, I was going to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Are you using 568A or 568B?
B.
Yeah, B. Oh, what? He should be using A. Oh, interesting.
Who said that?
Me. I made it up. Always B. Okay, interesting. Great.
Doesn't really matter anymore. There's like 4 standards now. As long as both ends are the same, it doesn't matter.
Yep.
Or not.
Yeah. There you go. You can have a look there. You can watch what he's doing. Yeah, the electrocute. That was funny.
What?
Inflatable jumping castle. We've got a trampoline. No, doesn't need that.
No, put down there to jump over. Jump over and land on
No,
it.
we're talking about home.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, great. So you get all the cool toys now that I've moved out. That's unfair.
Duh. What do you mean by straight? I know, it's the best.
Is it level? It's level to the moon.
Chris is saying it depends on what you're using it for. It can matter if you're doing A or B. Oh, I'm not going to say what Mike just said. Actually, can I say?
Go on, say it.
Unlicensed cabling work broadcasted live. Is that live, those wires?
It's data. No, I'm kidding.
So it's data.
It's not power. No. I didn't touch
Bummer.
the power.
No, a fireman pole. Okay, you think a fireman pole would be clever? It's not. You burn your hands. It's
I'll kill
uncomfortable.
myself on it.
But like I said, worth more dead than alive. So.
Well, over time, maybe it would. Anyway, thanks.
Oh, that's so funny. I can lick the wires. So, reminds me of a story. And I don't know if it's like a fake story or real story, but I remember reading it when I was younger, and I was cry laughing. So, oh my God, I need to start the story. I'm coming. I'm trying to work it out. Okay. So there were two electricians working together on a wherever, doesn't matter. And when one looks like they're being electrocuted, you have to get another object and separate the person from the power. So you get an object and you separate, okay? So
Is that a technical?
just arrow. So one of the guys was standing next to an electrical pole and he was holding it. And it's a visual, right? I have to move. Where do I go? Oh, so I can't do directions. So anyway, he's holding a pole and he's going like this. Right? Can you see that? I don't know if you can see that. I'll do it again. Right? So he's doing these ones. So his mate goes, no, I've gone the wrong way. His mate's gone, oh my God, mate over there's being electrocuted. He's got his hand on the electrical pole and his leg's shaking. So he grabs his shovel and he smacks the guy across the head or body, doesn't matter, smacks him. So turns out the guy just had like a little stone in his shoe and he was trying to get the stone out and his mate didn't realise and thought he was saving his life. And I don't know if that's a true story or not, but it makes me laugh every time. Head. No, okay, it was somewhere on the body. The point is, he smashed his mate with a shovel because he thought he was being electrocuted, and the guy was just trying to get something out of his shoe. If he's shaking, I don't think that's going to be that steady. Look,
it sounds plausible.
Listen, I don't understand the electrics of the story. I understand the humour of the story, and that is why I shared it. Thank you. Yes, and I was also told with the rubber shoes, always have rubber shoes on. Anyway, that's nice, Mike. I like that. Yeah. Anyway, I found that funny. Yep. Okay, I'm going to scroll up just to see if I missed any questions. I don't think I have. I think I've done all my questions.
Is anyone there still listening?
That is so rude. I've got 160 people watching.
I don't think so.
You're right. If you have rubber shoes and only grab in one spot, complete. Oh, I don't understand. Oh, rubber mats. Would be a funny drunk. Who? Was that meant to say me? Oh, bye Q.
Bye Q.
Sleep well.
Do you not ask if anyone wants to come over and do my networking for me?
Does anyone want to come over and do C's networking for him? I will. Thank you, Fire Developer. I will. Yes, Yaz is short for something. And that's where I'm going to leave it. Yeah. Yeah.
What's it short for? None of your business?
As he said, he'll, I'm assuming he, she. I've done gender, I don't know. We'll come over now if we can cover the travel expenses.
No, legitimate offers, please. Thanks. Yazzy, I'd love for you to come over, but legitimate offers.
Thank you. Oh, Azzy. I just can't assume gender. I don't know why I always, anyway. But seriously, anytime, yes. Electricity needs a path. A person can put a hot wire in their mouth and nothing will happen. Okay. Interesting about that, Jay, is that I don't mean to be rude. I really don't. The path makes sense because I've just learnt that the circuit it has to go from what I literally just learnt that. But I don't know what a hot wire is. You mean live? You can put a live wire in your mouth and nothing will happen because it's not connected. Okay, I understand that. But do you know what? Do you know how long it took me to work that out? I'm not the person to be, playing with wires and stuff. And no, I can't do these connections. Thank you. Yep, live wire. Got it. Azzy, I don't understand that. I can't even say it. On a power plug, there are 3 wires, 2 hot and a ground. Can I just tell you? Okay. None of you have dyscalculia, but I need to explain what that means. Numbers, directions, talking about circuits and paths. When someone says, "Oh, what happens when?" Oh, I get really confused, or when people start talking to me about these things, like I get black in my brain. It's like or it's like Seon's feature wall. I see nothing. It goes like empty. I can't even try to understand what it is that people are saying. So, dyscalculia. So it's in the disses. So you've got dyslexia, which is learning. My God, have I taken my medication? Jesus. It's a learning difference. Dyslexia is words. That you either can't read or you see the letters upside down, inside out, mirrored, find it hard to read, write, etc. You've got dysgraphia, which is to do with muscle tone in terms of how you write. So people with dysgraphia have low muscle tone, so that the writing is hard, but also the way in which people write with dysgraphia is different, and often writing is illegible or ordered differently. So dyslexia, dysgraphia, they're all things that can be improved and worked with therapy. Then you've got dyspraxia. Dyspraxia is a overall body low muscle tone. So often people with dyspraxia trip over themselves or walk into things a lot. I'm sure I've got this all wrong. So just head to my website, literallyawesome.com.au.
Oh, what a plug. What a segue into today's sponsor.
Anyway.
That was a segue into today's sponsor.
So is that, because you said what a plug, and you're working with plugs.
Oh. Wow.
Anyway, dyscalculia is a learning difference when it comes to numbers. So, person with dyscalculia, so I can't do additions in my head. I find it really difficult. I kind of know the times table because that was something that we just had to memorize, so I can kind of do times tables. North, east, south, west, forget it, not interested, don't have a clue. On the phone, people are like, oh, yeah, our address is blah, 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 blah. And what you do is you go down blah, blah road and you turn left and there's a little blah, blah, blah. And I'm very polite and I go, yep. You know what? nothing. I understood nothing. I don't know why. Very helpful for people without this learning difference, but it meant nothing. It means nothing to me, so I'm very polite. Things like, we had another one, 3 times, I don't know, Jay. I don't know what that is. But I know that if you times something 3 times, it's cubed. That's all I can tell you. Anyway, and so yesterday when C was like, oh, okay, I'm going to put the shelf up, you just need to tell me which, like, put the things in. And so I'm standing there. I didn't know if I needed to say left or right, because I didn't know which was my left and right. And then he was mirrored. So I went into shutdown and just said, you just do it, and I'll just tell you when it's in and you'll feel it. Because I couldn't do it. I've got no idea. I could not do it. Thank you, Jay, for the answer. Anyway, so that's what dyscalculia is. And there were things that throughout my life I couldn't do, and I would always just go, oh my God, like, what is wrong with me? Like, why can't I just do that? Like, how hard is it to go, oh yeah, could you take a left here? And I'm literally in the car on the steering wheel doing this, so I know which one's left. And the other thing, and it was actually really embarrassing, but I used to make a joke out of it, that I can't read the clock when it's the round thing with the numbers and the... Because I remember what it's called. The not digital one. Clock face. I can't read those sorts of clock. And so I remember getting, back in the day, I got a tag watch, and it had the... And people would say, what's the time? And I'd have to go like that to them because I actually couldn't read it. Or I could, and it would take too long, and so I would get really stressed and pressured, and then I couldn't answer. But I can't read them, and I've never been able to. And when I was in my assessment for ADHD, and I said something about, clocks and numbers, and I said, yeah, nah. And he goes, oh, that makes sense. And I went, oh, does it? I didn't realise it was a thing. I just thought there was just something wrong with me. But I guess knowing means that there's nothing wrong with me, and I understand why I can't do it, and I don't get down on myself. So anyway, the driver is always right. Yes, it's true. But interesting, like when I have the sat nav on in the car, I have to look at the map, and when the woman talks, she distracts me. I also don't need another person telling me what to do, so I need to get rid of her. But I find I need to see it because I don't understand. I think it's an auditory processing thing, or it's the dyscalculia. I don't know, but I don't understand it. Yes, I like that you can put a name on a thing and it explains other things. Like, I'd be like helping the kids' schools out at like the tuck shop or something, and something would cost $1.50 and the kid would give me $2, and I'd have to say, oh, how much change do you need back? And all the other parents thought, oh, that's great, you're giving them a real like learning opportunity. I was like, no, I just didn't really know. 50 cents, I do know 50 cents, but 70? No, I can't do, 30. Anyway, something out of the tens, I can't do. I'm always counting with my fingers.
It's difficult when she's got them in her nose.
No one appreciates it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, and it's no heckling.
That's because they all think you don't pick your nose.
Oh my God.
But it's the rearranging of the nose ring.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. A lot of the time it is.
Right. So there you go.
Yep. Oh, Mike. Again, a blank.
Uh-oh.
You can count to Oh my god, I just said 100. 1023 on 10 fingers if you learn binary. No and never. I don't understand what you're saying. Yeah, no, I have, mate, don't worry about it. Learn math quicker, just never learn. Oh, so what I didn't tell you is with dyspraxia, dyslexia and dysgraphia, one can have therapy and support to improve those areas. There is nothing you can do for dyscalculia other than give someone a calculator, because you cannot teach.
Is it called dyscalculator?
It's called dyscalculia.
Dyscalculator.
No, it's not.
Yeah, have dyscalculator.
It's not funny.
Okay, so. Ah.
Do you know what? It's actually making fun of one of my learning difficulties. It's not. I don't care. But no. Oh my God, Chris! I'm so sorry. I can't understand this. My email. Okay. Oh, Rubik's Cube. Forget it. No, not interested. Oh, bye, cable tie.
See you, Peter. How long have we been streaming for?
I don't know.
3 hours. Holy moly.
Can we wrap it up? Unless anyone wants to know any information, anything more, I'm happy to wrap it up.
Hey Peter, have you gone yet? Because I just want to show you my cable ties.
Oh, Jesus.
Multicolored cable ties.
Yeah. Yes, Jay, math, but also directions, anything to do, anything that you, anyway. Any pink ones? He wants to know if there's any pink ones.
No.
No, but
red,
if you put
blue, red and yellow.
But if you put a red and a white one together,
you get 2 cable ties.
okay. Oh my God, might find look, there were certain math disciplines that I found easier, like plotting things on a graph I could do, and also sequencing. I can do sequencing. So if I learn a particular method of doing something and I can follow that method, then I can do a math. I can do that particular discipline, like Sokotoa. I don't even remember what that was. And there was Sokotoa sine. I can't remember. Anyway, the point is, there were certain things I could do in terms of sequencing, but then when you change one thing, no, I can't do it. Calculus. Can you remind me what that is? Is that the numbers and the letters? It's not something that. Yeah, that. Nah, Jay, I can't do that. Nah. Yes, the adjacent. Yes. I was really good at that, and also and the angles. I could do the angles as well. Like if something was a little, yeah, I could do certain things. Maybe they were more visual than they were just thinking ones. Not sure about that. I'll think on that and get back to you all. But that's dyscalculia, and that is why when Sion says to me, can you push it up? And I look at him blankly and say, I don't know where that is. Yeah, and I feel less stupid, which I think is wonderful, because I'm not stupid, I just can't do it. And I know why I can't do it now. And I know that there's more people like me out there. And we laugh now. No, I don't want any maths channels. Thank you so much. Triangles are dumb, circles rule. Oh, okay. I don't know how they teach trigonometry. If someone says high five, do you leave them hanging? No. Because a high five I don't associate with a number. I associate that with a behaviour and an action. Some insights. I'm not doing it. Oh. Is that a pi symbol? I don't know what that is. There was one I had to do in stats back at uni. I don't remember what it's called, but it was a little fishy. It was like a little...
Omega.
Is that what it was? No. I don't know, it was a fishy. Right, so the thing with this calculator, Jay, is that you can't really learn. Or maybe, look, do you know what? Maybe you could, but what am I going to do at my age? I just use a calculator. Do you know what? When the teachers used to say, what are you going to do when you're older? It's not like you can carry a calculator around with you. Idiots. I can and I do. No. Like a sideways, yeah, but no, it's not. No, it wasn't an emoji. No, and it's not an infinity symbol. It's, I don't want to click on links because it's not my computer. I don't know what this is.
Just don't.
I just said no.
Just.
I'm not. I'm just saying. I'm telling you that if you're putting links, I'm not clicking on them at the moment.
What subject was it that you had the fishy in?
Stats.
Right. So it's the sum symbol. That. Yeah. Which
No,
is like,
that's an E.
okay. Staying out of it.
That's the E.
Okay.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. I couldn't do it. I did stats 3 times at uni actually. Same subject 3 times. I think they gave me 50% on the 3rd time. They just wanted me to just pass and get through.
Yeah, I think we would have.
Yeah, I want to wrap it up too. Infinity does not have a necessarily mean forever. Just got it. Oh my god, I think Aaron's got the symbol. Oh no, that's a make. I don't know. Yep. Anyway, no, it wasn't the, no. No, yeah, that one. That's a someone. That's a E. Oh, gee. Nah, I don't know. Guys, you don't have to solve this. The point is, I don't do it. I don't do symbols. I just can't do it. And that is that. I actually was looking at one of our daughter's maths tests recently, and it had a written question with like letters and numbers in it. And I just put the paper down and went, no. Oh my god, everyone's sending symbols. I don't know what any of them mean, so it's not helpful, guys. Just, I appreciate it, but I don't understand it. Alright, see?
Yep.
Can you like not be rude and say goodbye?
Yeah, I'm gonna just. Perfect.
It's good when he's using the stud finder to do all of that.
I'm getting too old to sit on the floor, I can tell you that much.
Oh, beanbag.
That's a cable sleeve. Look.
Oh, it's hollow.
Cable sleeve. Oh. Okay, anyway. Look how rigid it is. I can't even bend it. Like it's really...
That's what rigid is.
SZH stuff, whatever it is. Anyway. Okay.
Could you use it as a straw?
Bazooka. Didgeridoo. It's the smallest didgeridoo in the world.
Oh, how funny. How often does he use the stud finder on himself? Doesn't need to, mate.
Doesn't work.
Doesn't need to.
Boy.
No, it's because you.
Yeah, I know.
you're sad.
Yeah, I get it. Thanks, but that's not funny.
Oh, Yazzy, I don't understand.
Uppercase gamma is more radioactive.
See that? Is that funny? Because I don't
The
understand
schnitzel,
it.
the schnitzels up at the cafe there, they're pretty radioactive. Just thought I'd share that. Yours was spicy. I had your.
I told you it was spicy.
Mine wasn't spicy.
I said there
Yours
was a
spicy.
kick.
Yeah, yours was spicy. I don't know why. Anyway. Okay, folks, we're going to wrap it up. Thank you all for joining and sticking around for so long. I have 4 more network points done. Yay!
How many more?
8 more to go.
And is that it? Or is that just upstairs?
Well, then I've got to eventually do downstairs, but I don't know what I'm doing yet. So, thanks, Chris. Thanks, everyone. Catch you all next week. Hopefully, I'll have desks in here and a chair properly, and the logo working and everything working.
The logo works.
It's not getting on the internet. So,
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah, not right now.
Yeah.
And hopefully I'll remember to bring my mouse as well next time, because I did bring my mouse and my trackpad sucks.
I like your trackpad.
Okay. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for joining.